Vigilante Wednesday here on the 81st episode of the Culture Crime Fighters. We're back and better than ever after last week.
Mm-hmm. And
And
not live. Haha, suck it, Central Dildo.
yeah, not live, because those lives were starting to get to me. Just like always, live. Oh man, you
I
gotta be
like the live, but I also
like it
like
mixed
the
in.
pre-record. Yeah.
Me too.
Doesn't have to be one or the other. We do what we want. It's our show. If you don't like it, actually, please stay and
Please watch. We're not. What's that Big Red or whatever that hoe is? Who was like, "Oh, you don't like her? Don't read our comic books." No, please watch us. It's okay to disagree with people.
That was Anita Sarkeesian.
Oh yeah. Fuck that. Joined by my partner and Culture Crime Fighting, the man, the myth, the legend, Matt from Fireball Productions.
Foully Ball Productions. That's me, baby. You know me. You know the show. I was a guest this weekend on the Salty Nerd podcast.
Cool.
Matthew Kadish, who's a good dude, a good friend. He's had me on that show. That's my second appearance, which is great. And he wanted to have me on another time. I just couldn't do it because I had to work. But Matt's a good dude, and he runs a good show. So go check out my episode. It was a lot of fun. It's the kind of standard Fandom Menace fare, but it was a very good show. So I recommend checking it out.
Yeah, I'll link it if I can remember to in this description. So yeah, please check it out.
Yeah, baby.
Woo. Check out Salty Nerd.
You get to see your boy Matt like when it's not, one of our shows.
Yeah.
I have to be a guest. I have to be a polite boy.
Yeah, there you go. Can't just be a obnoxious dick, or if you can, it's just in smaller bites.
Well, I don't think that's my character.
No,
I don't think that's not how I would describe myself.
Me to get insecure. That was the only thing I could think of off rip, because I'm not a good freestyler.
But I think it's your true feelings were coming to the surface, and that's okay, Vidge. If you think I'm a jerk, if you think I'm a bully, that's fine.
Maybe we're wearing on each other. It's that we're at that stage in our relationship. Well, you're tired of the Con Theo shit, and
we've gotten into it quite a bit, which I like. I do like that though, because it's like for a while I feel like I just had to kind of sit on it, and I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm gonna say what I think. Why not? Okay. It's funny.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna react, because I've been like kind of holding back, and I'm gonna react to it a little more. So beforehand, we're talking about a couple things. We're talking about white women and black guys. We're talking about whatever, and then you wanted me to see this Chappelle monologue, and so you know what? I'll piggyback.
So by the way, let's just frame it correctly. Chappelle hosted SNL this weekend.
Yeah.
Which is a big goddamn deal, because a lot of people were like, "I'll never work here again." He's transphobic, blah blah blah. They did their typical tantrum, right? And then he still did it, and then he did his. I didn't see the show, obviously, because who watches live TV like Herb?
Saturday Night Live? Seriously?
I mean, gives a shit. I was at a bar getting toasted.
Hey,
because I'm cool. I go out and drink like a cool person.
Well.
But that's what I was doing. So I didn't see it live, but then I follow this guy, dude, on Twitter, because now that Twitter's cool again. And by the way, Twitter is very cool again. I follow this guy, and he used to write for like ESPN, and he is so based. I gotta find him. Is this something Whitlock? I think his name is
Jason Whitlock. It must be Jason.
Yes.
Has to be. He's the only Whitlock I know who used to be at ESPN, who has a conservative slant.
Dude, he's so based.
Yeah.
I mean, based in the sense of like he's based in like he speaks what he believes, and I think you know what I mean. Like
he gets a lot of shit for it.
Yeah, I love it.
He gets cool. A lot of shit, and I like some of it. Agree with some of it. Don't agree with some of it. Just like anything else, but I think I have a more favorable opinion of him than a lot of people. At least a lot of black people. I've seen like a lot of, Uncle Ruckus, Uncle Tom. And I'm like, I don't really think that's what he is.
But that's what they want to call you, as soon as you deviate from the narrative. What I get is this guy's just speaking his mind. Like I said, I don't agree with everything, but I was scrolling Twitter while taking a shit, and I saw
more information that we all needed. That's fine.
Well, it's just the truth. I got to share the truth. Can't lie. And I'm watching this, and I'm looking at Twitter, and I see Jason Whitlock. I'm like, oh shit! And I check out the monologue, which you just watched.
Yeah.
And you haven't told me what you thought. I don't know anything what you think, and I want to hear what you think.
Yeah. But first, I want to just defend and contextualize Jason Whitlock, because I don't think he even comes close to that pain. Because, like, to me, I get why they say some people are like turncoats because some people have a grifty feel about him, but he doesn't. To me, I think he's just his opinion, and so
Not
I
my
just wanted
impression.
to toss that out. And I also wanted to toss us out that he actually hired quite a few black people on the show when he was on Fox Sports.
Well, thank God
So
for
he does,
that.
and he
And
doesn't really get
power.
enough credit for that. It's just like, oh, it didn't happen because he hates. It's like I hate when people say you're a black person that hates black people, and there's evidence that that's not the case. So I just wanted to toss that out there since he was brought up.
Well, I mean, I'm all about bigging up black voices. I mean, that's the whole reason I do this show,
Oh,
is because
really?
because I want to big up black voices. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm not helping,
You know something?
not an
not,
ally.
not an ally.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate your alliance. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. So as I'm watching this, I have to contextualize with kind of how I'm feeling. I'm in a I the thought of quitting came across my mind this week.
Hmm.
And part because I'm just like, man, I don't have the interest in really a lot of this stuff. And I got weight issues. Maybe I should stop, take the time and just fucking focus on that and just say, fuck it. I have to get this weight off. And then the reason I'm not going to quit is because it feels too easy, right? It's like,
Hmm.
nah, what I need to do is try to shape, even if I don't know what it is yet, shape what Vigilante Williamson and what I do into what I want it to be and come across that, figure that out and find it out. But what is frustrating me and what is tiring me is like, man, I am beyond fatigued with the culture war. I'm beyond fatigued with news and media and everything. I'm just like, so when and I say that because when the monologue starts and it's like, oh, Kanye, I'm like, God damn it, man. You know what I mean? Because I'm just fatigued. I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
It is a hazard of the job. It
Yeah.
is and it genuinely is. And I'm numbing myself to it in a way where I kind of understand more and more why mainstream media comes across so callous and
Mm-hmm.
unfeeling
Yeah. I
because
do
it's,
too.
you know what I mean? Because it's
You
like
gotta numb
that's their
yourself. There's no
business.
other real way.
You
There's no
literally have
way.
to. I'll look at Daily Mail and it'll be like Trump did this, good or bad, whatever. It'll just be something Trump did, and then it'll be like someone gets pwned, and then it's like 3 children dead in a massacre. You're just like, fuck, what the hell, man? I didn't need to
Yeah.
read that. It's just, and then you'll see like every day is like a few stories like that, and it's just like it's so horrific. But if you do it every day, you do grow genuinely numb to it, almost as like a precaution, almost as like a self-protection.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost, now that I spend all this time looking at the news all the time, I'm like, oh, I get why they just throw shit out there. They're basically generating clicks, the way we
Mm-hmm.
are, just with the news. So it's the same game. I'm not defending it. I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying that's what it is. And it's like I actually am a little more empathetic, or at least understanding
Mm-hmm.
as to why it exists that way. Because it's like when you live in that world, when you live in the world of news, it's nothing but bad news, and it's emotionally draining. So I
Yeah.
understand how they can come across so like almost like detached, like they're like an alien about it.
Yeah. And I am there's times where I have been in that space where I'm just like autopilot. This is another thing, and I'm not I'm not really emotionally connecting to it. I'm still giving my input or whatever, but it's not like a thing. But I just feel drained like every day. Rather, it's just seeing like every element of society or every element that I follow. There's needless drama, rather it's sports, rather it's like it's just everywhere. Like politics has just spread like a disease to everything. Everything
Yeah.
is now a political statement. It's like, God damn it, I just want to escape and run away from all this shit. Um, so these are my thoughts. That is the context from which I'm watching this monologue.
Right.
But again, I don't want to quit because that's the easy thing to do. There's a way to do this, and I got to figure it out. And so that's the goal. But throughout watching it, some interesting points, man. Some interesting perspective on a lot of things, right? And I'm hoping,
Dude,
yeah,
first of all, it's hilarious.
yeah. But honestly, though, because of my context, it took until It took a few minutes in. What was the joke that popped me? Oh,
I
it
thought
was
that
something
the
about
joke that got me was he starts off by reading this statement
yeah.
that's saying I support Jewish communities. I'm not anti-Semitic, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, all right, where's he going with this? And then he finishes it with saying, "See, Kanye, that's how you buy yourself a little time." And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. That was funny. That
okay,
was a funny
all
start.
right, good. It's gonna be a comedy thing. It's not, you know what I mean? It's like not that I expected it wouldn't be, but it was just like, I really hope it's just not a bland platitude, that thing you're supposed to say. It's like he did the thing you're supposed to say, but then framed it with a joke. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, all right, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But like I said, my context is just like, man, this is just more draining political theater and political things. There's other things that maybe we'll get into if I talk once we talk about Black Panther, if we talk about it,
No,
that are
no,
fatiguing me. But it's just like, but there was definitely some funny jokes. Not right now because I just watched it and I just
dude.
can't remember offhand.
Somehow, Dave Chappelle went on Saturday Night Live, which is not really recently been
No,
associated with actually anything funny or anything relevant.
yeah,
And somehow, through the whole Kyrie Irving thing and the Kanye thing and all that, managed to say that the Jews run Hollywood and made it funny. I was
yeah,
like,
he did.
how the
Yeah, he
fuck
did.
did he do
Especially how
that?
he ended it. What did he say? Like, yeah, whoever those people are. That was great.
It was so funny. It was
Yeah.
so fun because it's exactly what he's really good at doing.
Hmm.
Is it's like, I'm putting this thing right in front of your face. You know it's there. I know it's there. I'm observing the fact that none of us can observe it, but this is the truth.
Hmm.
And it was masterful. It was so deft. I couldn't believe, like, because it was funny the way he said, like, it's exactly what I was saying on the cocktail lounge the other night, or at least, I mean, I don't know, the other night or one of the times we were talking
Hmm.
about, and it was like he said, you go to Hollywood and you're like, there's a lot of Jews.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of Jews. And it's like, you might start thinking that, the Jews run Hollywood, but you'd be crazy to say that out loud, which I was like, that's my point. Like, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was saying. It's like, it's not that I think Kanye's like wildly off base. It's that what's wrong with you saying that out loud, you idiot? Like, how do you think this is going to go for you? And that's exactly what Chappelle brought up. And then he still sticks the landing with, like, I mean, whoever's going to cancel me, it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
very good. Like, very funny, able to say the thing that's unsayable on the biggest, on NBC,
Hmm.
on Saturday Night Live, which used to be a huge platform. It's only not because it's not funny, but that video that I shared with you has got millions of views,
Yeah.
millions,
I
like
seen that.
13 million or some
Yeah, I think
shit.
it was like 14 when I saw it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he still managed to do that. He still managed to do his thing, say his thing, get a lot of good shit across. I was like, yo, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Is that your impression? I don't want to just say like, this is our opinion. Like, that was
Nah.
my impression.
I don't know what my impression was. Like I said, I'm in this fatigue place, man. My impression. Well, you know what? I'll say this. Like, I'm not even the guy who goes the Jews, right? That's not my thing. I know I talk a lot of conspiracies, but I don't really. That's not where I hang my hat. But like, I am a free speech guy, and it's like, so wait, are we cool living in a world where we can't say this statement? Is that we're all cool with that? Because you just said yourself a second ago you'd be crazy to say it out loud, which I don't disagree. By the way, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just saying, like, okay, so from the free speech standpoint of this whole conversation, which I know free speech really doesn't exist in this current climate. How many times we've said "coof" and all this other shit just to get around everything, just to have a fucking conversation. But it's like, are we just okay with this statement just never being sayable ever? And if
Well,
so, why
I,
and what do we do? And so
I
that's
think
my
that's,
only
that,
thoughts of it.
but I think that's the punchline,
Yeah, I get it. That is what makes the monologue pretty great, that he
you
is
know?
saying that, right? And
Like,
he's
that's
making
what's
it
so
into a joke.
funny.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like he was able to say that and not say it, and it worked. holy shit! Like I was blown away. I thought that was genius. I thought that was utterly genius.
Well,
That was one of
part
the
of me is
funniest
still
things I've seen in a
wondering
long time.
what the reaction is. It's only the next day. We haven't got the
Right.
media cycle. So in a week, you know, even though I don't like lumping everybody together because it was all different situations, it might be Dave Chappelle, Kyrie, and Kanye just, in Skid Row. You know what I mean?
But
With a hand out.
he did a great joke where he said like
You tuck the chain out thing.
normally, well, that was great.
That was
And
great.
then
I like
he finishes it at the end. He like brings it back around, which was so funny.
yeah, I
But
like that.
the way it was when he said about Kanye, where he's like, normally I'd rush to support him, and he's just like,
yeah.
let me see how this one plays out.
Yeah.
Which is like, yo, that's so accurate. Like that's so spot on. Like, not to say that I would rush to support Kanye, but it was that whole thing where you're just like, where's this going?
Mhm.
And you want to kind of see where it goes even before you weigh in. And it's like,
I also
I
thought
thought it was like
go
the
ahead.
voice. No, I'm just saying, I just thought it was the voice. It was just like, it was the voice that this whole story needed.
He also made a very interesting point that you can delve deeper in if you want to about Adidas original owners. And it's like there's a lot of companies who have. Remember when we did the Fanta thing? We found that shit on accident about Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of companies. If we want to go about anti-Semitism, there's a lot of companies who have that like official Yahtzee you know what I mean?
His take on it was so funny, where it's just like, and for us, that was too far.
Yeah, well, he said the teachers become the students, some shit like that.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was really good. It was just
clever,
very funny.
clever by Mr. Chappelle. He was
and able to talk about something that's almost like untouchable.
Yeah.
And he touched it. And touched it exactly from the perspective that was like authentic. Like, you know what I mean? It was like truly a voice in that conversation. It wasn't dancing around it. It wasn't like, saying around the thing, which I think is probably something I've done or other people have done.
Lord knows I've done it myself, man.
Into the heart of it and let us all look at it, talk about it. It was still funny too. Like that was the biggest thing. It wasn't like alienating or even polarizing. He said that. He talked about it. Honestly, I was floored. I mean, I was genuinely floored. Like I didn't expect, like I forget how good he can be when he's at his best, like how much of a like scalpel, how precise he can get. It was great. And then he kind of like bigged up Trump and Trump supporters in a way, not bigged him up, but like
humanized them, definitely.
Yeah.
Contextualized and humanized for a lot of people. Honestly, that's probably hit a lot of, when you think about, and this is one of my biggest issues with the culture war, there's a lot of dehumanization to it, man. There's a lot of it on both sides, but there's a lot of liberals, we saw this whole time for 2 years since we've been doing it, dehumanize people on the right. Mm-hmm. And I think it's statements like that that will click into at least some people, especially people who aim normie. It's like, oh shit, that I can understand that. Because a lot of people didn't understand why anyone voted for Trump. There were lots. I
they don't want to understand. It's not like they don't.
Well, no. There's people who just don't, who straight up no. Because when I say that, there are definitely people who don't want to and just ultimately reject. But again, that neutral middle that we always forget about because we keep getting this lefty right thing. There's a bunch of neutral who kind of aim, who don't. They're not paying attention enough to even know. They just hear what they hear on mainstream media. They go to work, they fuck their wife, they fuck their girlfriend, they go, you know what I mean? Go about their life. Hope they don't meet each other.
Yeah, sounds like one of my dudes. My fucking homie right there.
Yeah, fuck
crushing.
The wife, fuck the girlfriend. Hope they don't meet each other.
Was that old cheers to our wives, to our girlfriends, and to our mistress, or to our wives, to our girlfriends? May they never meet.
Like, yeah. That shit
for the bros, for the dogs. You know what it is.
Oh, jeez, I gotta explain this at the next Black convention. So, like, when Matt said that, why didn't you say anything? I was like, I just wanted the podcast to keep going, man. I didn't want to disrupt it. So, like, that's why I gave him this pass. But you're probably not going to be able to go to cookouts. But I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
I mean, not like I know the difference because white people don't season their chicken, right? We don't understand. I hate that meme. I hate when people say shit where they just repeat something they heard and they're like, that's the fact. I'm like, yo, I brine my chicken for like 12 hours.
Some white people can cook.
Yeah,
some black people that can't cook.
I was just going to say, like,
I can't cook.
cultural, like, you know what I mean? All those legendary black chefs. I mean, there's like, I'm sure there's a few, but like, it's
There's
not
some really
like,
good black chicks.
yeah, I'm sure there are, but this idea that like my entire culture doesn't cook, and then but all the black culture
Well,
does. You're like,
listen.
where
Well,
is this coming from?
blame the few Beckys that came around making bologna sandwiches and messed it up for the whole culture. I mean, it's just how it happened. These
I
motherfuckers,
guess
I know,
that
throwing down,
makes
sauteing
sense.
shit. I mean, because sometimes I'll be trying to learn to cook. If you do look online, it's people of all cultures that throwing down. So I
Dude,
mean, people can cook.
food is a worldwide thing, and there are
Yeah,
in all cultures there's amazing food, like
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Probably not the British, but other than that,
Yeah, they got some. They be tossing gravy on anything and
oof, boy,
everything.
they do not know food. But other than but then like if you look at like some of the top restaurants in the world are in England, so they figured something out.
They're probably like other restaurants, like you know what I mean. Like, oh, this is the top, like whatever restaurant, Vietnamese or Italian or whatever, but it's in London because it's London. Just like New
Yeah, I
York
mean,
has some of the best restaurants because it's New York.
right. Anyway, back to the Chappelle thing.
Yeah, tangent off.
So what
Um,
did you? So I'm curious, like what you thought
I
more.
thought,
Because
like I
I'm
said,
bigging it up, but I'm not necessarily sure you're like, oh, that was amazing.
well, no, I think I'm coming from it. That's why I had to mention the context. I just have this fatigue with everything. This like this interest with everything. Like, eh, I guess for my own personal stuff, like this shit's not really important. It
Oh,
is,
interesting.
but like all of it isn't. Like all of it, the media. If we're gonna talk about Black Panther. That's not really important. Nothing's really important, but me trying to get better. Like that's how I'm actually. That's my mindset right now. It's like, man,
Say
I gotta
word. Yeah, I respect
because
that.
I really not to take another tangent. I'm really worried about my weight, and I'm like, man, I've been putting this shit off, and then it didn't help. Last week, Grandma Gelante Williamson called me and was like on me about my weight because I visited a month
Wow,
ago.
that's rough.
But it was like it was rough, but it was real, and it's like fuck. I
That's
got
it's
I
like it's rough in the sense it's just like, oof,
yeah.
that's mad real. If your grandmother's like, hey, by the way,
You got
you
to
really
do
got to take
something.
care of this. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it hit, man. That hit, and it's like so that I have that context of that's why after this, no matter how bad I feel, got to go to the gym. I have to go to the gym. Going at night because I'm it's just a little less nervous or whatever, and it's not that far. And so
What do you mean nervous? Like you feel like self conscious?
little bit, yeah, man. A little self-conscious. And then sometimes it's not even the self-conscious thing, it's just sometimes it's just too many fucking people and too many
Because
things.
yeah,
And then
naturally.
sometimes it's like, man, space isn't always there. Like you
For
want to use a
fucking
machine.
autistic, antisocial people like us, it is kind of
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, I get it.
And then
But
sometimes,
I think everybody feels uncomfortable, dude.
yeah.
Like I really do. Like you get, I don't, I've never felt like the only gyms I've really felt like really genuinely comfortable in are either like the gym that I work out at in my complex, which is
Hmm.
just like it's just a gym in the building
Yeah.
essentially. It's on the and then another gym I used to work out in LA where I kind of knew everybody. And
Mm.
so it was like more like a community, you know what I mean? So like I had that vibe, but like just going to a gym, I never feel comfortable. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's uncomfortable. It's a weird social thing to do to go around human beings that
Hmm.
you are not going to talk to. You're all in public, but you're all doing your own thing. It's a really
Yeah.
weird thing to do.
Everyone has headphones. No one really
Yeah.
interacts.
Yeah, it's
And
bizarre.
and then if somebody's on your machine, kind of got to work around it. And then sometimes the machines are so close because of the way space can be. It's like I don't really want to work out right next to this human being I don't know. We're
Right?
like, or work out where we're like, sometimes you're staring directly at them, and it's like, oh, that's awkward,
It's bizarre, and then there's also, like, girls who look, like, crazy hot, but you're not
bro.
really supposed to look at them, which is also
That's why
weird.
another reason I go late because the hot bitches aren't coming late; they're coming during the day. But it'll like one time I went and it's like, bro, your ass, I can see everything, ma'am,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
you have a nice ass that you've worked well
Oh,
for.
a fucking gorgeous, like, stupendous, like,
Like your body
doing the
is great,
squats to yeah, it's like, oh
and
golly,
I
gosh,
can't look.
madam.
I can't look. I can't be caught looking.
That's the biggest thing. I can't be caught. Look, it's not that you can't look. They want you to look. You can't get caught. I think I think they enjoy catching you looking. I think
Yes.
that's their game, right? Our game is to not get caught looking. Their game is to catch us. I think that's the
Yeah, and that's
exchange.
a lot of. And then me and the fat
It's
guys, like,
weird.
I really don't want to be caught because I don't want to
Word.
be
You don't wanna be that
ew.
creep.
Not you. Nah.
Yeah.
So I just what I do is just if it comes in my line of sight, enjoy what I can see out the corner of my eye, but don't focus. If she can't see, then it's free. But if she's walking by, just like but if you can catch a peek, like she's looking the other way. Oh my god.
I try not to creep in general, just because like even if they can't see me, I feel even
Yeah, you don't want to go too
creepier.
hard.
I
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah,
just feel even creepier, like, oh, she can't see me. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm
yeah.
leering through her
No, I
bedroom
don't
window.
leer, but
I'm just saying that's how I feel. Like I'm not
yeah.
saying like I'm not a man. It's not like I don't have those feelings. I just feel like a little weird. I
I
check it
guess
out, you know.
yeah.
I take a look, especially like obvious. You got those like the short shorts, and you're doing fucking squats. It's like obvious. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do?
Short, very tight shorts,
Oh yeah, like
and
you know,
they'll wear thongs. It's like, come on, man, that's not fair. You're gonna have
I'm
a
built.
thong with both ass cheeks. I can see the flap, the clapping as you squat. Don't do that to
I
other
think they
humans.
like it. I genuinely think like overall they enjoy the attention more than anything. Like it's like I think they'll say they're uncomfortable because every once in a while they are uncomfortable, but generally
Yeah,
they dig it. They're into it.
yeah. I think
They
it's a
like being
spectrum.
like a it's like a
Like
celebrity.
clearly there is a creepy, like nobody wants to be a creep. And clearly there are creeps. I remember when I used to work out with my sister back some years ago. There was this one guy, he was creepy as fuck. And
There are dude, yeah.
he was like one of those super muscly guys, but he would
Oh really?
creep out. Yeah, but he would creep. I mean, he would stare
Mm.
directly at women. And
Jesus
the
Christ.
only thing I could do to stop getting with my sister is to like, all right, she's on the treadmill. I got to get on this treadmill right next to her in her line of sight. And then he'll look away and then he'll just stare at another chick. And it's like, Jesus, this is creepy. Like
I went
this
to the gym with my
makes me
ex-girlfriend.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I went to the gym with my ex-girlfriend one time, and she was like genuinely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you about her. Like she was one where it was like she's so beautiful, but like I didn't really enjoy having sex with her, and I was just like,
Uh,
it's got to be me. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I'd
yeah,
figure
yeah,
it
yeah.
out eventually. Like eventually I'd come around. Like I mean, it's got to be me, but it was
Mm-hmm.
just just not the right fit.
Yeah.
But we went to the gym one time, and dude, these fucking guys, man, they were so Like it was aggressive. Like I felt like if guys were looking at me the way they were looking at her, I feel like they wanted to fight me.
Right?
It was unflinching stares, like just like not even kind of trying to pretend like they weren't looking, like glaring, like leering. It was so I was uncomfortable, like not
Yeah.
even like in a aggressive way. I was just uncomfortable. I was like, I got creeped out just by the vibe they were putting out there. I was like, Jesus, guy, like, wow, I spent all this energy to be kind of like demure about it. Like, check
Mm-hmm.
them out once in a while, get caught, kind of like, oh, it's a cute moment. But like these guys didn't actually, they felt like rapists, all of them. It was
Right?
really creepy.
It's like, oh, this is why you guys think there's a rape culture because of motherfuckers like this, right?
Because of
Like,
motherfuckers like this, yeah.
yeah,
100%.
yeah,
100%. And it's like
yeah,
y'all give us a bad name. You guys are pieces of shit and fuck you.
yeah, man. It's like that's not cool, man. That's not cool.
Also, like, yo, I don't want to look in your fucking porn search history.
Whoo,
You know what I mean? Like, what the
FBI,
fuck's in there, man? Like,
FBI opened up, man.
you guys are ghouls. Like,
Yeah, man.
have some grace.
Just don't glare. Because another reason I don't really stare is because like, okay, I gotta focus on my workout. I gotta like, okay, whatever, that was
Also,
nice.
that it's
I gotta,
distracting.
yeah, get back to it. Because I mean, I never want to complete any workout I'm doing. It's not until afterwards that I feel good. Afterwards, I'm like, oh
Right.
yeah, it's awesome. But
Oh yeah.
during it, it's just like, oh, another rep, fuck, another set.
But
I don't really believe.
that's what it is. Like
Yeah,
that's what you're working towards, is that kind of
yeah.
release, that good feeling when it's all over and you're like, fuck yeah. And then you all of a sudden your confidence is better.
Mm-hmm.
You feel better about yourself. You just feel like a more complete person.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't worked out in a few days. I feel like shit.
Man, I gotta thank you for getting me to kind of encouraging me to work out because I'm like, man, I felt good. I'm making this a habit. I
I'm
got
really
to.
glad that worked, by the way. Like I did that and I wasn't sure how that was going to be received, because I know you in the past you've said like, encourage me. And I was like, all right, but like, just I
Yeah.
didn't want to come across like I was like attacking you or some shit. But I remember hearing you say that on the stream, and then I was just like, I just finished like a kick-ass workout and like a 2-mile run. So I was like, you know what? I'm feeling proud. Let me just shoot this his way and just see what comes of it. And I'm really glad that that landed that way because I
Yeah,
didn't know
man.
how it was going to be received.
I didn't either. At the time, I probably was a little irritable, but I'm like, man, what it was is when I wanted to not go, I'm like, he's gonna fucking ask me about it. I gotta at least go.
Right?
Because if I gotta at least,
Accountability.
yeah, and that little bit of accountability got me to go. So I was like, I need it. I may not like it. I might text "fuck you" back one of these times and then go. I'm like, man, thank you after because I need it, man. That's why even having this conversation. That's why I'm like, man, because I'm getting scared of myself, man. And it's not just the conversations, all of a sudden little health, little circulation shit, like where my foot, like one day just went kind of numb and I had to kind of move
Ooh.
around. And it wasn't like
Ooh.
sometimes your foot can fall asleep if you're in a
But
position for it.
yeah, but I know what you're
That
saying.
wasn't the case. It was just I'm just sitting down like a normal human and it's just numb and I have to move it and do it. I'm like, oh fuck,
And it's like that.
this is
It's
a
like,
problem.
what gets me, sometimes I'll just like, I'll open up Instagram, right? And because of what I used to follow on Instagram all the time,
Mm-hmm.
like if I just go to the search, it'll just be all these hot chicks.
Mm,
Like not in a good way, like frustratingly attractive,
mm.
like 23-year-old blonde girls. It's like, that's my shit. And it's like, you know what I mean? They're in incredible shape and they're flexing their little ass with their, stretchy booty shorts on. And it gets me mad. But what also it does is it reminds me of like my laziness or my, alcoholism or whatever the fuck I'm
Mm.
going through at that moment that kept me out of the gym, and it is motivating. Like even though it's not
Yeah,
like the best feeling, it does make me think like, all right, pussy, you're fucking going to the gym tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like that kind of shit. So it's like it does help. So I was just hoping that would also, that's why I
it
thought
did,
the
man.
instinct would help, because it's like, you reminded too. It's like we all get so wrapped up in our own shit and just our own little world, and then we forget, like, there's like other people out there doing shit, living their lives, and I don't know. Sometimes a reminder of that can actually genuinely help.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I genuinely appreciate it. No
And I'm
cap.
proud of you, dude. I'm proud of you for fucking going. It's just like, you know what, man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep at it. Like if it works, I might just be kind of like your little pain in the ass workout buddy, but like, I might
Yeah.
just every time I have a killer run, and you know what I mean? Like, fuck, look at that. You know what I mean? Fucking
Yeah.
9-minute pace, like whatever the
Yeah.
fuck,
Yeah.
like, because it might help. It's like it might
Yeah.
genuinely help.
Shit, that's
So,
nothing. I bought fucking bought running shoes. I
oh,
don't know.
okay, dope.
Yeah. So I can. I'm not. I ain't ready to run yet, but I'm gonna try to work myself up to it because I
I
got
think you should
things.
get that Fitbit too. I really genuinely
You're
do.
probably right. Yeah.
It's tight, dude. It's a good fucking device, man. Like, I'm so happy I got the Fitbit. The only thing I'm a little worried about is like when you buy it, you get a 6-month free trial for all the Fitbit premium shit, which is the
Hmm.
like sleeping stuff and some of the more like readiness, some of the more like valuable features that like I
Mm.
really value right now that I'm gonna have to start paying for.
How much is it per month?
I don't know, but it's not that
Mm.
cheap. It's like it
Ah.
costs money because it's like, I guess it's some sort of algorithm that they utilize. There's all these computers that go into it. Like it's off site, so it's not just in the Fitbit. Like it goes through the internet or some shit. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like
jeez.
it's like
Yeah.
it's service. It's like there's services that cost money. So it's like, but I
Mm.
love the services. Like I love the sleep counter, man.
Yeah.
It's so helpful because it's like you can't like it's like I can't lie to myself anymore.
Mm-hmm. About how much sleep you get, how much
How
that's
much
another thing.
sleep, my recovery, all how many days this month I worked out. It's like
Yeah.
I get very streaky, like especially when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to working out, like, and then I'll go out, I'll have this great workout and I'll feel like I've been killing it.
Mm-hmm.
But my history is like bullshit. But because I feel that way, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
facts don't care about your feelings, as we've learned.
And that's the truth. And it's like, that's why, like, having like a record, it's like, yeah, you only worked out 9 times this month. You know what I mean? Like, you might
Mm.
feel like a fucking alpha athlete, but guess what, Tubbo? You only worked out 9 times this fucking month. So it's like, it's very valuable information. And
Mm.
it just keeps me honest. And also on the other hand, like, not just like, from the negative standpoint, it's also like, if I'm feeling like shit about how much energy I'm putting into it, I'll also look like, oh, you worked out 5 times, like, last week. Like, you're cool. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
also, it keeps me sane. It keeps me
Yeah.
humble.
Okay. That might be valuable because I have no mains. You know, no one tracks their workouts unless you're like a real athlete of some kind,
You
right?
write that shit down. What are you, a fucking nerd?
Yeah, I've seen that shit online. Oh yeah, write down your work. Like I'm not doing that. I
Not doing
tried
it.
it for a little bit, but it's like I didn't because I'm not going to I'm not going to be a bodybuilder. I'm not going to be in the NFL. I'm not going to be in the NBA. So it's like I just want to not be as fat as I am. That's it. That's the only goal I have from this. So I don't care about getting more weight on my 1 rep max and all that other shit. I don't give a fuck. I just want to be less. I just want to be in good shape. Want to be healthy. I get it. There's guys that's you. Cool, man. You know, all power. But I'm not that guy. Not that guy, pal.
It's also important to like realize too, like we are getting old. Like we are
Oh,
genuinely getting old. Like
yes.
I fucked up my shoulder working out. Like
Mm-hmm.
truly. Like I've fucked it up to a point where I don't think it's just gonna go back ever.
Oh no.
And I was, I was pushing myself. Like I got to the point where I was benching 225, which is 4 plates,
Yeah.
4 total plates, 2 on each side, which I
Mm-hmm.
never really had done before because I'm kind of like a slender guy. I don't really have like a lot of base muscle mass. I have to work to get that. And I was
Mm-hmm.
really proud of myself, and I could
Yeah.
probably still do it now. But then I kept adding weight. And I remember I was benching and I felt this and I was, oh shit, like I did something here. Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like a crippling injury, but I can't really bench press right now. And I
Oh
don't know
shit.
how
Yeah.
long that's going to go. And it's like, yeah, you're 40. You know what I mean? Or you're almost 40
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the reality. You're not like a kid anymore where you can just push your limits. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
Mm-hmm.
you're working out to maintain. It's like, some guys are kind of built for that. I'm not. And
Yeah.
that's just the reality.
Man, I see David Goggins. How the fuck does he do it? Isn't he close to 50?
Yeah, but it's a lifetime, man.
That's true.
It's a lifetime of being in spectacular shape. It's not just, you know what I mean? It's not like he just got into this.
Yeah, but I mean, he was fat at one point. That's his whole
Was
part of
he?
his story. Yeah, he was
I thought
fat
he
at
was
one
a
point.
I
But
thought
I
he was
mean,
a Navy
he went to the
SEAL.
Navy. Yeah, he went to the Navy.
Okay.
He lost the weight to get into the SEAls, and then
He's a kid then. Yeah, that doesn't mean
yeah.
shit.
I mean, he was still late 20s. I mean,
Really? He
yeah,
joined the Navy in his late 20s and became a
or
SEAL?
mid, yeah. I may
Oh,
have it wrong as far as the age
I
frame, but
don't
he
know.
wasn't.
I
When I
didn't know it
looked
was
at the
that
picture of him
late.
fat, he looked older. He did not look like a 20-year-old.
I didn't know it was that late in life. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
he was a later in life kind of guy.
Dude,
So
that guy, but some of the shit that he says too, like, is also like something Muhammad Ali said where he hated every minute of training.
yeah.
And you're like, Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer who's ever
Hmm.
lived, hated training.
That
But
contextualizes what takes to be great. Like you have to just do it,
do it.
regardless of whether you hate it. And there's pictures of him running backwards and all this shit. As far
He's
as
the
Ali doing
greatest.
all this training and
He's the greatest. It's
this crazy
inarguable.
regimen. If you ever see the fucking clip of I don't know who it was. He throws like 100 punches at him and none of them hit him. And it's
Oh
just
yeah, I've
like,
seen that a million times. Yeah,
yeah,
where he's in the corner and then he
yep,
waggles his hips.
yeah. And it's like,
Great.
holy shit.
They
And
always show that in slow motion, but I always think it's more impressive in real time.
yeah, because it's
Because
like,
and
how did
he
he?
just can't. He's right in front of him, and he just can't hit him.
Yeah, and it's like
So
I've never
cool.
seen anything really before or since.
No, never. I don't think it's. I mean, there's great boxers. Like I saw this boxer, black dude, and it was in a gym, and he's a pro. I don't know
Mhm.
I can't think of the boxer now, but it was like he was sparring with some guy, and he was up against the ropes, and it was literally just rolling and like
Mhm.
moving, and he wasn't even throwing any counters. He was just dodging all this shit. It was amazing.
Mm.
It was just like, how do you do that? Like, it was so impressive to move the angles, and the guy, he kept missing. He just kept throwing himself out, and he's just rolling. It was like,
How did you
wow.
train your reflexes to be able to react that fast
Yeah,
and to
and
react
the
correctly that
physicality to
fast?
be able to do it. It was
Yeah,
so awesome. I was like, wow, what a fucking badass. Like
yeah,
it's almost more badass to make someone miss than it is to hit them.
yeah. Because it's so that's kind of what made fucking Mayweather so impressive. Because it's like this is incredible. Like
Freak.
how are you not getting hit? How are you able to do this?
Dude,
So
I watched that. Remember that ESPN Sports Science? You remember that?
yeah.
It might still exist. I don't know who
Yeah, I think
watches
there's
ESPN
something on the
anymore.
internet like it, like a YouTube thing. But I don't know if it's the
Yeah,
same people.
but they said like that. You know that shoulder roll thing that he does, where he
Hmm.
like he rolls and then counters with the right, the right, the straight right.
Mhm.
He, it was the timing was it was quicker than a rattlesnake striking.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like the time from a rattlesnake going. Whoosh, his response punch, that secondary punch, faster than a
Wow.
rattlesnake. I was like, that's insane.
That quantifies how incredible that is. That's incredible. That's like some
It,
superhuman shit. Literally superhuman. Like,
dude, that sports science thing. I don't know if they still do it, but that was a great thing they used to do on.
yeah, on Sports Center on ESPN,
Yeah,
they used to
I
have like
wish they would
segments.
still do it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so good. Like they did that one where I forgot it was
Better
some
than
running
complaining
back.
about Kyrie. Just bring sports science back.
But it was some running back, and it was like the amount of force that he was pushing down on the earth whenever time he like ran, like it was like they did the timing. It was like faster than Usain Bolt.
Wow.
Yeah, like he was
Must have
faster than
been
Usain Bolt.
Chris Johnson since you're talking back. Because I'm like, I remember he was pretty
It
fast.
might have been,
Maybe
but I don't.
somebody else, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was, I don't forgot who it was, but it was just someone that was. It was it was insane. It was just like
Yeah.
utterly insane. You're like, wow, that's so cool the way they can just like quantify it too. Like
Yeah.
it's not up for debate.
Yeah. That's what makes it dope. And to
Yeah,
think that somebody who's capable of like this incredible beyond the pale type of athleticism didn't even like to train for it. It's
I
because they're back to
love
the
that's
Ali thing.
so insightful, dude. Like Goggins, Goggins. I don't think Goggins likes to work out.
Yeah,
I
he
don't think
says
he
he only
likes
likes it.
it,
Yeah.
but he does it, and he's the guy who does like those super marathons, right?
Yep. He does the super marathons, stay hard,
And he
don't
hates
be a
it.
pussy,
Does
all that
all
other
that
shit.
and hates it. It's like so. I always take that in. Not that I'm like a crazy athlete or anything, but
Yeah.
like when I'm jogging and I feel like it's like no, keep going. Like just take the next step. Just take the next step, and then the next, and just keep like stay right here. Take the next step, and
Yeah.
it forces you to get better because like you identify with these like they hated it and they did it.
Yeah, man.
Granted, they were black. I mean, obviously, I don't have
Oh,
that advantage.
they watch Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano had a crazy training regimen
No,
as fuck.
obviously,
You know
I
what I
was
mean?
fucking around.
Yeah, I get it. Joke humor. But man, like that's kind of the insightful element. That's
100%.
and honestly, man, I've been watching motivational shit. I watch these stupid motivational memes. The reject modernity, embrace masculinity. You
I've
ever
been
see that
watching some
shit?
of that shit too. Yeah.
I've been watching a ton of that shit to just get myself to get up and do shit because it's like, first off, they're funny. Seeing like some of these crazy like soy boy, like the first half is always like a bunch of soy boys, or that one guy I put in the thumbnail where I don't know who he is. He just eats a bunch of food.
Oh, that fat kid. Oh, I
A
thought you
fat.
knew who that kid was. You don't know who that guy is?
I know of him from those memes, but I don't know of him outside. And I've seen him in other memes before then, but I don't know who he is. Like, you know what I mean? I just see him in memes.
He was a big YouTuber. He would do that
Yeah.
mukbang thing
Yep.
where he would just eat like 40,000 calories or whatever.
Yep.
And he was like this skinny kid, and then he
He
became like
got
this
fat.
fat slob, and he's super soy too.
Yeah.
By
And
the
he's
way,
popular.
that was a good thumbnail and title. It made me click like not just because I like you. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was like I was just genuinely curious about that particular topic. I was like, oh, like you know what I mean? It was just like that made me want to watch. That's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, that was good.
Okay.
That was well done.
Yeah. I don't know how
So
well done the show was, but at least hey, thumbnails are important. But I appreciate
hey,
it.
whatever, man. It's something. But no, now okay. Now I want to switch, and I want to hear what you you watch Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah.
You intentionally avoided spoilers. Like you wanted to have a cold experience as much as you
Cold.
could, and you watched it. And I saw that you were streaming about it, but I couldn't watch because I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know anything what you think. I really
Yes.
want to hear what you thought.
All right. This is going to come to a shock. I actually liked it.
Holy shit! You're the
Yeah.
first person I've met that liked you. Got okay, then you have to make a video about it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
you got to make a video. Now, not just a live stream. You need to make a tidy
dedicated
10-minute video, and you have to like caption
Yeah.
it and do a good thumbnail because that'll get clicks. It might get hate clicks. People might really hate that you said that, but fuck it, dude. If that's how you really felt, you need to make a video about that.
If I make a video, I probably gotta somehow give it another watch. Because during my live stream, I forgot so many of the characters' names. Now, in saying I liked it, I am not saying this is like great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tell me about it because it seems so
So
universally hated.
so what I will say is, and honestly, and as I talked it out on the live stream, I think I like this movie because it's not as woke as I thought it was going to be, and it is significantly less woke than what I had thought was I was going to see, and it was
Okay. I mean, that's not
competent.
necessarily a compliment.
No, that's why it's like me saying I like it. It's not like I like. Oh my god, this was Wakanda Forever. Like, yeah, it's just like, oh, that was watchable and enjoyable and competent.
Really? I can't
Not,
believe you feel that way. I didn't see it. I don't know anything about it. I'm just
and
saying all the people
I
that
may
like,
be stretching when I say competent. Well,
but you
technically
liked it and
competent.
you
Let me
sat there
go
for 3
technically
hours
competent.
and you enjoyed it. Like, I mean, obviously
Yeah,
you couldn't
yeah,
have you can't fake that feeling for 3
no,
hours.
no. But I mean, in watching it, I did feel it had flaws. It wasn't like a perfect like. It's like, okay, this is pretty long. This is pretty long and drawn out. But there were enough interesting set pieces. Even though the story was kind of formulaic and paint by numbers, they gave characters motivations that made sense. And like, not that every action that makes sense. I'm sure Marlon can say, well, this was dumb, this was dumb, this was dumb. I'm sure. But I guess part of my liking it was having such a negative I came in expecting a dumpster fire. I came in expecting a woke, super black feminist, super nonsensical, super eye rolling experience, and I didn't get that. And I got it. Oh, they're
Wow.
actually trying to make a movie. They
Wow.
they miss on parts. Don't get me wrong. This I said competent. That's why I stopped and said, well, technically competent. And I'm not saying there's no
This
woke
is all
elements,
blowing my mind.
because there are woke elements. You do get some they blame the Wakandans for everything. Like, okay, I see what you're doing. The white people blaming the black people for everything, and that's supposed to be the joke. That's supposed to be I get it.
You think
But
that's what they were going for?
that's what they were going for, because the whole thing is like and I keep forgetting what the word they use for the Atlanteans. They didn't call them Atlanteans. They called them something in Spanish or Mayan or Aztec. And
Nemorians or whatever the fuck.
yeah, well, Namor is the main guy, and oh my
Yeah.
god, he's another issue. I thought he was cool as an actor, and I'm not. We just talked about working out. I'm not trying to body shame the guy, as big as I am, but holy crap, it was. If ever there was a fight scene where 100-pound girl had a believable fight scene beating the crap out of a grown man, it was this one, because this guy is so small. It is because sure, he's not a big girl, and she becomes Black Panther. Spoiler alert if you didn't see the
Well, it's
fucking
pretty
trailer.
ripped here. Let me see if I share the screen.
Let me see.
I just put Namor Black Panther. It's pretty
It doesn't
ripped.
right there. It doesn't look bad, but I mean, throughout it, he just looks like a
Just is
guy.
he a wee lad?
He's not just his height, man. I didn't see that much abs. I almost feel like that photo had a little extra
You think
sauce
that's a
on
little
it.
sweetened?
Yeah, man. He looked like throughout the movie, he just had he looked like a guy. He didn't even look like he worked out, man. Straight up.
Hmm.
He almost had a skinny fat thing going on. I'm just like, and he's wrecking shit too. He's smashing ships.
I like his drip, you know,
all the chains and shit.
yeah, flex, girl.
all the little and you know what? That's not. They didn't really come across to the screen that well. They looked.
No,
Yeah,
that's what I heard. Is it looks bad.
There's some flaws in this movie. Yeah, there's some flaws. Certain things look bad. Certain things look good. Like the CG is still bad. But then there's other shots. There's other little actions. There's a little chase sequence that has some cool shots. There's some fights. There's some cool fight scenes. There are some really cool fight scenes in this.
You're literally the only person I've heard say this.
Really?
I have not heard anyone say anything other than universal. This is shit.
It's not it is a formulaic movie. It is a movie that is for normies. It's not for somebody who's going to like. It doesn't hold up on the scrutiny. Because my brother didn't like it. My brother watched it. He didn't like it.
Oh, was he there with you?
Yeah, we both saw it at the same time.
Okay, and he didn't like it.
Yeah, he didn't
what did
like
he
it.
say?
He said, "This is I've seen this movie a million times. It's the same Marvel movie over and over.
But still, it's not.
Formulaic."
But no one's like, this is flat out trash. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate this. Because one thing I heard, and this is from like just a black perspective, is it did something like black versus Mexicans was kind of like
that's definitely a subtext.
Is that there? Okay.
There's definitely a Man, I hate to say it. There was definitely a black versus Mexicans, but no, let's gang up on white people subtext. I can't deny that shit at all.
Wait,
Nobody would.
say that one more time. It was a
Okay,
what?
there was a subtext of black versus Mexicans, but
But
instead let's gang up on white people. But they
oof.
didn't say that.
Well, of course they didn't. They
But it
never
was
say
like,
it.
okay, that's what you mean, though, isn't it?
Ooh, that's rough. That
So
would be
that's
hard for
gonna,
me to forgive. That would be really
yeah.
hard for me to
If
forgive.
once you see that, and there are parts of it, and I even told that to my brother. There's some real weird racial subtext stuff that I didn't like at all,
Oh, that
and
see to
that's
me that
there.
makes it unforgivable. Like, is I guess as a white guy, where you're like, well, damn for me, I'd be like, well, hey, go fuck yourself.
Well,
Um,
considering the first, here's another thing. This is nicer to black men than the first Black Panther because they don't just show
okay.
black men as incompetent idiots who need the women to save them. The one I forgot the one big guy from the other tribe. He's shown as a competent, logical
Oh, that
individual.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, and he was a kind of a goof in the first one, and they made him a competent, logical person. So I was just so happy they weren't fucking with us. It's like you're on your own, buddy. At least they're leaving us alone
Huh.
because we were just dumb ubermenches to be warriors, and T'Challa was completely incompetent. The women had to do everything and literally drag him into success,
Literally drag him, yeah.
literally drag him. And so they took the heat off of us. So I mean, and they don't go heavy handed with the. It's not really like let's gang up on white people per se, but it's
But it's
gang up
there.
on a
It's just
surface
there.
war. Yeah,
It's just there. Yeah, I
it's
feel you.
there.
All
You
right.
can see it, and it's not hidden. It's not the hardest thing to find, right?
What
And
did
that's
you
something.
think? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But no, that's something I was worried about, and that's the one woke part that I did get that I expected.
Yeah, and that's the reality. I mean, that's the narrative, right? I mean, it's kind of like I remember like before I even went all wig knot, as you call it.
Yeah.
No, but I remember I was hanging out with this chick, and I was just like
Mhm.
just talking about all this stuff, and I was just like, well, it's like all this narrative, it just got the same conclusion that like or something to this effect, where like you're supposed to hate straight white men, and she goes, spoken like a true conservative. I'm like, well, I don't know, tell you like this is what it is. Like it's not.
I
I guess
think
I'm
you're just being a
conservative in that
conspiracy
regard.
theorist. I think you're just going to be a conspiracy theorist, man. I think,
um,
yeah.
but I guess that's I'm just like, wow, as soon as I see that, I'm like, all right, well, fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, I
Well,
can't. It's
does it
it's like
make
it's
you
a tough
feel?
one to kind of like swallow. To be like, well, that's okay. I guess it's all right. We can all decide that it's not okay to hate on any other racial like demographic. You know what I mean? Except for straight white men. Also, like all the people in this woke shit are the ones saying like, what we value more than anything is not discriminating against people's race, gender, and sexuality, but we've picked our enemy based on their race, gender, and sexuality. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, well, you kind of your principles don't hold up under scrutiny. Um,
What it?
what
Hmm.
did you think though? I was saying, what did you think about the way they handled the death
Hmm.
of Chadwick Boseman?
See, the more I talk about it, it's gonna sound like I hate this movie because I have issues with it, man. It's not
Listen,
perfect.
when me and my dad left Starship Troopers, we started kind of teasing it into oblivion. So we almost
Mhm.
talked ourselves out of liking it, but
Yeah,
obviously I still enjoy Starship Troopers. So
yeah. Man, that's one to rewatch. I was like,
masterpiece, so good,
yeah, that.
ages like a fucking scotch.
Yeah, I'm like, how does that play now with all this happening? That's probably gonna play a lot
Oh,
differently.
masterpiece. I
Just
love that
like
movie.
shit, you seen Fight Club recently? I think mentioned
I
seeing it, right?
just watched it the other day. I
Yeah,
just watched it like 2 weeks ago. It's
I've seen it since the
even
pandemic, and it
better.
hit hard. It was like, whoa, this shit hit like it was made for now. Like that shit hit hard.
Did I message you or something like that? Or yeah, I think I told you. I was like, it
I
was
think you
like the
said it on
precursor to like
something.
Andrew Tate or something,
Yeah, 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 yeah. It kind of is, man. It kind of
right?
is.
It's like you marginalize the entire, all
All
men.
men
That's what's good
forever.
about. Yeah, it's like they're gonna find a purpose, and it's not necessarily gonna be the one you want them to have found.
Yeah, yeah. But as far as the death of I actually got emotional and angry at the beginning because they do it off the rip. It's the first
What do
thing.
you mean emotional and angry?
I felt like these motherfuckers are about to exploit this death
Oh,
for
all right.
3 hours. That's what I thought was going to happen because the
All right.
first thing off rip is a heavy part of the first act, and I'm like, they do mention it quite a bit, and they are trying to emotionally trigger you with it throughout the movie.
I
There's
mean,
no doubt
you
about it.
got to think about it. It's got to be an emotionally triggering thing for the people
Yeah,
involved, right?
yeah,
Like, it's
very
just, you know what I
true,
mean? Like, if
very
you
true.
lived around Black Panther and you're the writers and you're Marvel, you know what I mean? And also, like, for the marginalized peoples of the world, he was our hero.
No, but you know what? I know, but you know what? I'm not about to begrudge somebody who definitely inspired a bunch of kids, man. A
No,
lot
I'm
of
not.
kids
I'm
like
not
him.
saying fuck the dude.
No,
I'm just
I get what
saying
you're saying because
that's what they would. You know what I mean? That's how they look at it, right? It's
but
like,
there's some. I mean, marginalized rhetoric aside, there is some to some. I think he was inspiring to a lot of people, and I understand why, and I appreciate that, and I have a respect for that.
oh, he's a dope dude. I have nothing against him. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying, like, the way it's like, when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, the way they build her up,
yeah.
like she was, because she's a woman and a liberal, and that's so much more important than it was. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, in your world, that matters so much because it's like you guys see everyone who disagrees with you is like genuinely akin to Nazis. So it's like, all right, well, yeah, you would think that this woman would anyway. My point is just that like they kind of overblow it a little bit. Not that there's anything wrong with Chadwick Boseman. I have nothing against him, obviously, but it's just like
All right,
for
man.
them, it's like it's the greatest
Your
thing.
clan hood is
He's
showing. No.
all right.
No, but no, I do get the leftist rhetoric can be laid on pretty thick. I get that, and overblown a bit. I'm having fun, but I also, like I said, I do have a respect for what Chadwick did, and I got like, man, they're about to exploit his death the whole time.
I
I
also
didn't.
love it's a black guy named Chadwick. I mean, I mean, like, it's like I maybe should I be
There's
mad about the
Theodores and
cultural
Chadwicks
appropriation? Should I be
and
mad about the
Ashtons
cultural
and all
appropriation? 'Cause I
sorts
feel
of
like that's
names.
my people.
Well, shit, I met a white Chantel, so I'm not trying to hear it.
Really?
Yeah, I was blue.
That's
Also
awesome.
met a white Desiree. I'm like, what the fuck? When did this happen?
Desiree doesn't. I don't feel like Desiree's like a black name.
Really? I did.
Yeah.
I know way more black. I don't know one white Desiree. Well, I don't know her, but
I mean, I
do
buy
one white
that,
Desiree.
but it doesn't. It doesn't
Bunch of black.
to me. I don't hear Desiree and think, oh well, she's got braids and a bad attitude. Like I don't think that.
See, man, I'm not caping for you there. Like, yeah, man, I'll take this guy asshole. Fuck him. I know, but I thought the death was handled. It could have been handled worse. I didn't really like it, but I also understand it's a difficult situation. There was no perfect way to do it. There was just no perfect way to do it. I do hope, but they tease sport because you don't care about sports. It's already sport enough. So he has a.
I'm good. I'm good on the spoilers of Wakanda Forever, my
So
friend.
it's spoiled that he had a son with the one girl.
The white girl?
No, not the white girl. Jesus.
I don't know.
And here's nothing. I forget all the characters' names. That's what people made fun of me when I did the stream. I forgot
That's
all
funny.
the characters' names because they don't say their names that much. They just appear. But his love interest from the first one, he had a kid with, and
Wait, was that the one? Viola Davis? Was it Viola Davis?
no, Viola Davis isn't. Is she even in here? I don't think she's in here.
Isn't she in it? She's not in the
No.
original. Yes, she is.
Wait, is she?
Viola Davis in Black Panther? I thought so.
Angela Bassett is. I don't remember who.
Yeah, she's like the main warrior chick. Yeah, it's Viola Davis. She's got a
That's
shaved head.
Viola Davis.
Yes.
I thought she looked different.
Oh, you're gonna have to cash in your black card. Oh, hey, Luke. Luke came back.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, buddy. Luke was out again. And dude, I swear to God, as much as I'm happy I have this air tag, like I know that he's around, but I think he goes under the house. I think there's like a series of tunnels or something that he goes through. Because I would be looking at the air tag and I'm standing on top of it.
Right.
And
that's not Viola Davis. I can get my black card back.
She
is not in Black. You know what? I'm proving to you now. Wikipedia has spoken. Hold on.
Yes, she is. I'm looking at all these pictures of her.
Wikipedia has spoken.
It's not her?
This is not her. All black people don't look like Wignot. This is her
shit,
on screen.
Yo, I swear I thought that was her.
It's because I'm like, she's too old to be that character. See, it's 2018. It's
Dog,
not.
I
She
straight
was the
up thought,
Woman King, and that's what I thought I was going to
yo,
watch.
I
But
thought
no,
that was her, bro. Yo, that's fucked up that I thought that.
yeah, man. Yeah,
Because
I
look
get
at
my
this
black
picture.
card back, and you get your Wignon card back. But no, the
Yeah,
one
that's
I know who
fair.
you're talking about. I'm like, there's no way.
Bro,
Viola.
I to this
You're talking about the
day,
bald chick, right?
to this second, I thought that was Viola Davis. Look at the picture. Does that not look like her?
No,
They're
you
showing
right.
her side by side. Dude, that looks like Viola Davis. I swear I thought that was Viola Davis. I did not. I genuinely, until right now, did not know Viola Davis was not in Black Panther. Oh, I do feel a little racist, but I just
You
I
know
just
what?
didn't know.
I would go harder if I didn't myself. Wait, is she? So that's why I can't say shit. I want to be an asshole. I really do. I probably should, but I'm
Bro,
like, wait, no, this
I
can't
thought
be.
that
So I
was
had to check.
her. I can't believe that's not
Cause
her.
what told me, I'm like, it can't
Whoa.
be. Is she's too much older to play somebody who's this active and moving around. She can't move like
Damn.
that.
So
She's
who
in
is
her
that?
50s, 60s.
Who
That's
is this person?
that's it's the actress. That's her name.
Ah, look at you, fucking cashing in your black card.
Damn it!
motherfucker.
I had it for a second. You wouldn't say nothing. Now they gonna take it back from me. Damn it! Oh,
Yo, that's fucked up. That's mad fucked up.
yeah, it is.
That's her. Come on.
No,
How
it's
many
not.
black actresses are there? You know,
It wasn't for such a racist ass wig, not white supremacist
dog.
post Trump fucking
I
Hollywood.
straight up thought that was her. I cannot believe that's not her. Danny Guerra?
Yeah, Guerra. I just
Denai?
found it.
What is their fucking name? How do you say that?
Denai Guerra. She's an American Zimbabwean actress.
Oh, wow, yo. I thought that was Viola
Dora
Davis.
Milaje. I kept fucking that up too. I cannot pronounce shit.
But yo, straight up, like in defense, when people shave their head, they do start to you lose a lot of definitive features, right? Even white guys, like you shave, like, you know what I mean. You kind of lose like definition. You start to kind of look like, oh, is that? I've done that with white actors. I'm like, is that guy? Oh, that's not him. You know what I mean? It's like,
all right, man.
It happens with act. Shut up.
Okay. Yep.
She kind of looks like Viola Davis.
White
She looks
power,
like
I
a
heard
younger
you.
version of. Throw me under
No,
the
she
bus.
does look to not just let you twist in the wind. She does look like a younger version. She does look younger, but that's the thing, younger. So that's why I'm like, okay, she doesn't look. And I knew that wasn't her, but I'm like, okay, there's a lot of people in that damn tribe and all that stuff. Kamar Usman was sitting back there. Trevor Noah was in this film. I didn't even know it. I'm looking at Black Panther.
Trevor Noah's in Black Panther?
Yeah, apparently. I don't remember seeing him. You know what I mean?
I didn't know that.
There's a lot of people just standing around at times. Like I said, Kamar Usman was just sitting in the back. He didn't say one word. He was just there. And so I'm like, oh, wait, is Viola Davis one of those motherfuckers that are just there in the background?
Oh, that is my bad, though. I genuinely didn't know that. But where is he in Black Panther? Like, if you Google it, he's not like.
It shows in oh no, he's the AI. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay. I was finna say, what the fuck? I never saw him. But there's a lot of people just standing around. I'm like, wait, is Viola Davis one of those motherfuckers just standing around? But no, she's not in the film.
Sorry, there's an article from the Toronto Star that says Trevor Noah was in Black Panther and nobody noticed.
Yeah, I did not know he was the voice of the AI.
Because no one likes you, Trevor.
Yeah.
No one likes you. You're an ideologue. That's why you're where you are.
Well, we know why you
said it. Boom.
Well, we know why you don't like him. That's been established. It's okay though. It's okay.
It's not because he's black.
Oh! Well, who said that?
Hey,
nobody said that. It must be one of your conspiracy theories.
Speaking of Black Star's got a new album.
Oh yeah, I did hear that it happened because right afterwards on that Chappelle thing, he said Black Star's the musical guest. I'm like, oh, this is like a throwback to the Chappelle show. That's so cool.
And it's all new shit.
I might check that out. Nas has a new album too, and it's great.
I know. I saw that the other day. I haven't listened to it yet.
It's good.
Is it good?
It's genuinely good. Yeah, I would check it out.
Dude, that was so funny when we were off air. We were just like talking, and I was like, I don't know if I'm in a Nas anymore. You're like, really? And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh
And we went
yeah.
back and listened to all that shit, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm way off, dude. Nas rules.
Yeah. You even like some shit that I was kind of. I'm like, okay, I can understand. You're like, no, this is still fucking awesome. I'm like, all right.
Fire. Oh
And
fuck.
then it was a newer song that he did, and it was fucking dope.
It was good.
It
I
was
wish we could
real.
like play it and talk about it,
Oh
but it's
yeah,
like
copyright,
I'd almost want to listen to like the new Nas album just to hear it. Like
bro. It's real good. There's some based elements to it. It's really like
I
let's
buy it, dude.
get ourselves better and do more. Talk critical of a lot of the gun talk. It's a lot of like Nas is like
Shit, I'm gonna
think
check it
Nas is
out
still
after
my
this.
favorite fucking rapper. I know he's in his 50s. I know he's 30 years in. But I think he's still my favorite rapper after all this fucking time. Still, I think he's the best rapper.
I think what happened was like I I think sometimes like I look back on when I was younger and
Mm-hmm.
just assume I
Every,
can't
mm-hmm.
share that opinion any longer. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, that was probably just the younger version of me. What's that
Yeah,
idiot know about anything? You know what I
yeah,
mean? And then I'm always like very pleasantly surprised when I'm like, oh no, I still fucking love that. You know,
yeah.
like I'm like, oh, all right, I was right back then too. All right, dope, dope.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Cause like I think I may have mentioned and I got shit for it, rightfully so. I used to like Blink-182 when I was younger. And then you hear
And then
and
you
it's
listen
like,
back and you're
ooh,
like, I don't know.
I
See, I still like Blink-182. I'm like, I'm not
really?
ashamed. Yeah, I still very much like it. Like it's a lot of
Uh-huh.
nostalgia,
A lot of
but
nostalgia.
it's like
I s-
it's not as good as I gave it credit for at the
mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Because at the time I had t-shirts, I listened to like the old albums, like I had it all, like
Mm.
everything. I love Blink-182. So now when I
Yeah?
listen back to it, I'm like, yeah, it's like this is just fun. Like it's not
Okay, yeah.
bad. It doesn't deserve love like that, but
Yeah.
whatever. Fuck it. Like I was a kid. Who gives a shit? You're developing your taste. Like that's how you grow as a person.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
guess
still
when I listened
good.
to Blink-182, I was like, oh, this is not art. This is cool. This is
Yeah.
fun. But it's like, oh, I gave this way more credit than it
Word.
deserved
The only
from a
band I look back on that like I at the time really liked and now I kind of don't give anything about is Bush.
Bush.
I
I
used to
remember them.
I loved Bush. I like
Yeah.
glycerine. Yeah, it was like, but I was also young. I was 12. I was just like, it was like the first time I even had musical taste in anything. And I
Hmm.
really dug it. And now I listen back, I'm like, oh, this is for girls.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know what? Speaking of
Like I
bands
didn't have.
that I
I didn't
should be
know.
embarrassed of, but I'm not. I'm not embarrassed to like Papa Roach's first album. I don't give a fuck.
Papa
That
Roach.
first album, I'm not embarrassed to. I'm
You
not.
know what, dog? It's funny that you say that because I was
cut my life
drive.
into pieces.
Oh, that's
It's
Papa
not that's
Roach.
written so hard.
I think of what's the butterfly song?
No, that's who the
Is that not
fuck
Papa
was that?
Roach?
No, that's a different band. You talking about come my lady, come
Yeah,
my
come,
lady,
come, my
you're my
lady, you're my
butterfly,
butterfly,
sugar, babe.
sugar,
Yeah,
baby.
that shit.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was that?
I don't know who that was. I thought that
And
was
I'm
Papa
not
Roach.
Googling it. Fuck you, Google. Who is
Yeah,
that?
fuck it. Chat can tell us later tomorrow when
Yeah.
we air this. No, but I was driving home and I was authentically with no irony and no, a little bit of embarrassment, but very little blasting and enjoying Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. That's of course
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
that song, right?
yeah.
And I was like,
I wanna dance with somebody.
somebody. I love that
I
song.
wanna feel the
Genuinely.
heat.
Like authentically, like I will play that for myself for my own enjoyment. And then I was like thinking about that. I was like, ooh, what do you have anything that like it's like you're a little embarrassed to admit that you love
Mhm.
it? Like is there anything like in your repertoire or things that you enjoy where you're like, I don't want to admit that I like that, but I genuinely like that?
First I got Illuminati confirmed. There's actually a Whitney Houston biopic called I Wanna Dance with Somebody that they just did a trailer for during
Ooh.
Wakanda Forever. So it's all lines.
Oh wow.
So we're in the Illuminati apparently. That
Or
sucks.
or we're just, in touch with the rhythms of the universe, my
That's
friend.
that everything I know about conspiracy theories tell me that can't be not that coincidence. So I don't know.
You poor man, just living
No.
in that world all the time.
No.
I gotta I
Uh
gotta drive to Houston and fucking break you out of it.
gotta
Let's
fucking
go to a bar. Let's talk to a girl, Vigilante. You'll feel better.
be a human being.
Just join the
Please.
world. Go to that person and you order a burrito.
Yeah. No, bro, embarrassing stuff. There was a time. Oh, I know what it is. Fucking Culture Club, man. I'll blast some fucking Culture Club. That's Boy George.
Yeah.
Come. Or
You'll
uh,
blast it.
man, I remember riding through fucking the hood of Columbia,
Love
South Carolina. Fuck, going to a haircut, bumping. What was it? Miss Me Blind. Loud, blasting this shit. And I can't lie. When I got up to lights, I felt nervous. Like, what am I doing? I know you miss me, blind, blind. I love that 80s shit, bro.
Dude, Patrice O'Neal had a bit just like that because he was a Beatles fan.
Yeah.
And he would play like, he's in his big truck with his rims and he's a giant black guy,
Yeah.
and he, driving through the hood playing, we all live in a yellow submarine. Like, yo, what up, bro? What's up? What's
Right?
good? Yeah, how you living? All right. And then like on his way, we all live.
Yeah.
The contrast of that image is so funny.
Man. Yeah.
There's
I've been there.
There's a good like little skit, like a little like 6-second skit on like YouTube or whatever, where like these two black guys are driving through like the suburbs, and there's these two white guys just standing on the street, and they're blasting like Cher, the two black dudes are, and then these two white guys are like, and then they just like quickly switch it to something real hip hop and like smile and drive off.
Oh shit.
I'll tell you another artist that I got into like pretty hard that I don't even know what it was. And it was weird. What brought me into it was like all the conspiracy shit, like the Illuminati shit. But dude, I used to play well, the Fame Monster or whatever the fuck that was, like Lady Gaga's first 2 albums. Bro, a lot. Used to listen to them like for my own pleasure. Like really enjoying those albums. Like they're I still think they're good. Like I hesitate to admit that because I think she's like one of those,
it makes you kind of oh shit, I got the drop because I'm on a thing. It makes you a little bit
Gay.
I mean, I know I just said Culture Club, so I mean you're probably thinking
That's still gay. No, you're gay. He's gay.
But enough.
I've never seen that before. Yeah. That's so funny. The announcement. No, he's gay. That's funny.
To the world pointing.
That's funny.
No. I will say this of like the pop princesses of that era. Or I don't know if you call her the pop princess, but all the pop stars of that era, Lady Gaga's music was of the better music.
I really liked it.
And
I don't
she
know
had
why.
some good songs. And I mean, she had some. Even that fucking Poker Face, it was like
Poker.
Shit's
I just
catchy
liked.
as
Also,
shit.
like her lyrics sometimes are awful. Like, love it when you call me legs in the morning, make me eggs. Like that's the line. Oof.
Doesn't matter. It was
Make
just
me
about
eggs. You rhymed eggs with leg. Ooh, like it's corny as shit, but it didn't matter. Like I still liked it. I still fucked
the
with
dancey beats and the catchy hooks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I understood why she was popular. Okay, I
straight up.
Like I get it. I get it. Especially with the weird shit. Nobody had that image before with this weird, crazy.
Weird.
That's what honestly, as much of a conspiracy theorist I am now, when they first were talking shit about Lady Gaga, I totally blew it off. I'm like, no, this is just her weird. This is a gimmick. This is Ozzy Osbourne. This is all this shit. It's just a gimmick. Like, what? Like, okay, she doesn't.
So you look at like one article, the Vigilant Citizen, and he breaks down those fucking videos, and you're like, holy shit, she worships Satan.
Yeah, once the video breakdowns came, I was like, oh no. But like in 2009, when the internet was still just the internet, you're like, oh yeah, this is fine.
You know what I'll do?
YouTube was hit, and I'm like, oh no, this is not.
I'm going to extend an olive branch here for Mr. Vigilante Wins because I love you, and I wanna, keep our bond strong.
Okay.
There is some really strong imagery in Terminator 2.
Really?
Well, I'll give you one great example, one very classic example. Now, I'm sure you're well versed in all this, right? In Masonic temples, the checkered floor is a big deal.
Yep.
Right? So if you recall, when the T-1000 is in the psychiatric ward trying to kill Sarah Connor, the guard steps on a checkered floor, and then he rises up through the checkered floor and becomes the guard, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
Pretty big imagery there.
Huh.
But it gets worse. There's also in Miles Dyson's house, there's like a goat head, like a
Oh
Baphomet thing.
shit.
And then there were like also like 2 columns like in his house.
Oh shit.
It was all there. And I was like, holy shit. Like I remember like screenshotting that, not doing anything with it, but I remember vividly like seeing that and being like, oh, what, like this is either Cameron's like endorsement of it or criticism of it. Like, 'cause it's almost
Yeah.
like the bad guy has all this shit in his house.
Oh shit.
And then there's the very famous meme, which I'm sure you've seen, because I'm sure you've gone down this rabbit hole as well, is that when he's in the LA River and he's driving the truck after John Connor and the little bike, and then the Terminator grabs him on the big bike, and then when the truck crashes into the tunnel, the bridge that he overpassed that he can't get through, it says caution 9/11 right before he hits it.
Oh shit. I've seen that in other things, but I didn't see it for that.
Oh yeah,
Everyone's seen the Simpsons one, and did you ever see the Back to the Future one? That one freaked me out.
The one that freaked me out was the actually Super Mario Brothers.
Really?
Yeah, because it flashes, and then one tower is like not standing, and one is broken. It was like one of these weird. I was just like, that is a fucking shockingly accurate image of what 9/11 looked like. Made me like anxious. Let me see if I can. I'll probably find it.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw the Super Mario one. I remember playing Super Mario 64, noticing all the Masonic imagery, like because I was just
it was from the movie. From the movie.
Oh, from the movie Super Mario Brothers.
There we go. This is it. I got it.
Yeah,
right away. Let me actually isolate it so we get the whole image. Yeah, and I forgot exactly how they did it or why or whatever.
Well, look at who's really the conspiracy theorist. I see it.
That's why I know where this goes.
Oh, buddy.
Right?
Whoa.
I know. That's when they like fungified the world or whatever.
Yeah.
I know.
Whoa.
I know.
That's the thing, man. But you know what? That's where I don't mind you pushing back from the standpoint of it is a rabbit hole and it can consume you. And we started off this show with I have a disinterest in a lot of stuff because it is not helpful. I need to be helpful towards myself. I need to focus on reality, right? So I absolutely understand it. The only thing I get frustrated with is the dismissal of it. It's like, listen, man, I get it, seeing it everywhere, but I'm not crazy to ask questions. Even some of the stuff I say that may seem a little bit out there, I'm not nuts.
It's not. This is from Terminator 2, by the way.
Yeah.
And look, it's also like there's a twin tower thing going on, right? Like you've got like the 2 kind of tunnels that are also like vaguely reminiscent. This is like 10 years before. It's 91 or whatever.
Yep.
It's just creepy, man. It's weird. Like I remember like in Dread, that movie Dread that you hate but I love, when it was either like in security footage or something like that. It was something, but in the bottom right corner there were like these numbers that were flickering, and every once in a while it would go 666 666.
Oh, really?
It would just pop up, like it would just be like one of those numbers. And I was like, why? I remember looking at it to find it, but still it showed up, and it was just like, oh god, like it's
why is it here? Why?
Yeah. It's not okay. It's not that I don't think it's valid. Like I do think certain things. Like, and I definitely think like let's talk about like the Kanye thing. It's just I'm kind of like, yeah, dude, I live there. Like, there's some shit. You know what I mean? There's definitely things that you could criticize and point out that are probably accurate. But it's not that I reject it whole cloth. It's just that sometimes it makes the conversation like impossible because now that's all we're talking about. And also, it's like there's a difference between using evidence and observing like things that you see and pointing them out versus trying to intuit what's going on and trying to use this sort of sixth sense that you have to figure something out. Like that's where I pull back. I'm just like, all right, man. Like it's like it's if you see the evidence, you want to point out the evidence, that's fine. But if you're just sort of saying like it's like the thing that bugged me. It was like that NFL guy where he's like, this is how he fakes the thing, this is what's happening. It's like
I think I'm actually the same guy I'm having on Tuesday. Actually, I'm doing.
Are you really?
Yeah. He's a Pat Truthner. Shout out to him.
Cool.
So yeah, well, he's gonna come on the channel, and I do get that, but I guess like sometimes I feel like I'm not even given a chance to potentially present evidence. Let's take about the I've called the orange man controlled ops. I'm not saying he is, but don't tell me I'm crazy for thinking somebody who was friends with the Clinton up until the day he ran for came down the escalator just like the Simpsons predicted while we're talking predictive programming, who comes from a billionaire family and who either was inadvertent or not, has made conservatism to where the point if you think you're conservative and you're now a domestic terrorist and they're actually on the FBI list, there was a lot of negative consequences that we live in since 2016. I could be wrong. I might not be right, but I'm not crazy for wondering, I wonder if there was something up with that guy.
It's different when you wonder. I don't mind the wondering. It's the kind of like definitive
Declarative statement. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fair. That's a fair.
that's you know what I mean? I guess that's where
That's
I
fair
get like a
pushback.
little like annoyed. It's like, dude, shut up. Like you don't know. You know, it's
Okay.
like that. It's not just you. I don't mean that like I'm not directing that
No.
at you. I'm
I
saying
know
in
what you mean.
general. It's just like yeah, it's like it's all that just like I have the knowledge, I have the insight. And it's like, yeah, dude, sometimes you genuinely do. Like I remember looking at like I remember talking to my mom about this stuff because I used to be heavy into it, and I was talking about like this Illuminati shit. I couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about like the dollar bill, and she was very skeptical. She's pretty skeptical in general. But then I remember showing her like just one image of like Lady Gaga like in a live performance, like bending over and doing like this sign, you know, or whatever the fuck the thing was. And on her back was the pyramid with the all-seeing eye. It was like the jacket she was wearing. Mom goes, oh, like she saw,
Yeah.
you know, she had one
She
of those
saw it.
moments. Yeah, like, and it's like, so it's like, it's not that I mind the discussion in general. I don't, because it's like I'm pretty sure there's a lot of truth to it. We had Cameron Pasha on this show, and he said everything you think is fucking.
He was saying wilder shit to me, man.
Yeah. He's like, he's basically, I've seen it. Like, I was there. It's all accurate. So it's like, that was intense. I haven't seen Cameron Pasha in a while, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, shit, man.
Just realized, oh no, Illuminati.
Cameron Pasha's a good dude. He likes himself, man. Don't do nothing to him. We're going to war, man. I ain't letting that one slide.
I guess it's like when everything is seen through that lens, or the conversation can't happen outside of that. I just get bored. I get bored. I really do. And I don't think it makes the best content where I'm like, all right. Okay. Yes, I know. We live in a hegemony of bankers and they want us all to be gay. I know. It's just, it gets old. It gets tired. It gets, you know, it's like, I don't mind having it once in a while, but I just like, if it's all we ever talk about, it's like, oh my God, shut up.
I've been trying to see things from both perspectives or multiple perspectives. Like, okay, let's take the perspective as we're getting it, as we understand it, as things are being reported. And then also there could be other stuff under it that maybe is beyond what is being reported.
And I'm here for that. You know, I'm here for that. You know, I genuinely am. Like I can't not see it. You know, once you get illuminated, you see that shit. You genuinely do. And that's the point. And I do believe in that, like, you know, public magic or whatever. It's like the fact they do it in public makes it more, you know, it's like forces us to, it kind of is like the Kanye thing where it's like you can't say it out loud, like you're not allowed, and that almost is like what adds the weight. It's like, yeah, you can't fucking say it, and don't fucking say it even though you know it's true. It's like I think there's something to that, you know. I don't know if it's ubiquitous or if it's as nefarious as it seems or whatever, but I do think there's something to that. So it's like I'm on board. Like obviously, like my mind is like cued into that, and I can't not see it. I guess I just think like it's almost like it gets lazy to think like that, or like nihilistic.
Those points I definitely get, and I'm trying to figure a way to present it, because like when you're talking about, and this is something I really want to discuss with Pat, so shout out again, plug for that tomorrow.
I'll check that out too, by the way. That's tight.
And it's like there's a lot of people who either don't see it or don't believe it, and I don't think that helps fill them on. You know, you're not going to convince anybody. You know, his thing is the rigged sports. A lot of his comments on certain things, when you see something freaky happen with the ball, and it's like, okay, I can't explain that scientifically. Most of his comments will be more in agreement. On other things, people will say, oh, you must have lost money. Oh, you must be a fan. Oh, you must be butthurt. And because the people who come across the content are less likely to believe it if you're just pointing out what may be there, but you're not giving concrete evidence for why it is. Where and there's
I,
other places where it's there's some of these kicks where you see the ball, it's like, wait, what did that
I mean,
just
I've
do?
definitely seen some shit, but I think it's the same thing as like the woke. It's like it's like that's what we brought up a lot of times. Like it's not like the woke are completely off base. It's not like
Yeah,
there isn't discrimination, there isn't racism. It's not like it's completely
yeah. We
foundationless.
were just
It's
talking
just
about
the
the creepy guys at the thing. You can see
right.
where rape
Exactly.
culture can get into
Like
somebody's head.
yeah, like it's got some validity. It's just the way they go about it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
the beating you over the head with the message. It's like my example is always, oh, murder's bad. Like if you had a character say, "Hey, it's wrong to murder people," you'd be like, "I know, motherfucker. You don't need to, lecture me like that." It's like the same thing I think is with the conspiracy theory thing. Is like if you allowed the audience to come to the conclusion based on the evidence you presented,
Mm.
it might have more impact. But when you guide the conversation, you basically give them only one conclusion. It's like I think you either only attract lunatics or zealots, or you're going to alienate people who might want to know or like have a new insight into the world, but you've just alienated them because like the way
Yeah, and I
you've
don't.
handled the conversation.
Yeah, and that's what I don't want to do is alienate people. I did something about a year ago on this guy John Ty, who was a guy from the '70s, talking about the music industry and demons and magic and all this other stuff. And I feel like that's my best display of just here's what his testimony is. What do you think? Like, not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not corroborate. I mean, saying what I can corroborate, seeing what was, like, hey, maybe this guy was just crazy. You know what I mean? Trying to present
Right.
both sides so you could come up with your own informed decision. And, because I definitely want to do it like that. Part of the reason Alex Jones went through the shit is when you watch the actual tapes of what he said, it's like, well, yeah, that was legitimately slanderous. It's, you know what I mean? For that, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but his situation,
The thing.
the thing.
Yeah.
But his situation, when you watch the actual clips of what he's saying, it's like, okay, I can see why he got into a lot of trouble he got into. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like maybe they're being obsessive with the punishments and the judgments, but it's like, well, you got to word it better, you got to phrase things better, and you got to be,
kind of right. Like it's what Chappelle did. Like, I mean, that's what
yeah,
was so impressive about the way Chappelle
now
was
that we
able
come
to
full circle,
accomplish. Yeah,
yeah,
he was able to accomplish saying something like, it wasn't like a hard and fast point, but it was, you got what his perspective was, or at least the fact that what they're thinking isn't like that crazy. Like it's not like
yeah,
it's that nuts to suggest something like that, but he was able to accomplish that nimbly. And it's kind of like that's almost more effective. It's like
yeah,
you say something like a
yeah,
curse word like without saying it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you dope. Right? You could call that person a fucking retard. But if you say, oh, you dope, it's
mm-hmm.
almost like calling them a dope is almost it's got more impact.
Yeah. And honestly, that's kind of another direction thing. Like, I don't want to be. I feel like I started this YouTube thing being real hardcore and just saying whatever, and it's like, okay, nice job, guy. Now you can't fucking grow, and nice job, pal. And your shit isn't even effective. It's like you do want to be effective in presenting these things, and I think
Yes.
now that we're
Yes.
talking about it, yeah, that actually was very masterful. That he was able to present a very controversial topic and do so in a very entertaining and tactful way.
Like
And that's
and genuinely like impactful. Like and on
yeah.
the biggest platform. Like it was so
Yeah.
nimble. I was blown away and I was like, yo, did he just finish that by saying the Jews run Hollywood? Like I was just like, this motherfucker he got away with saying that. Like whoever they are. I was like, I was
Yeah.
floored.
Like
That
this
was so good.
motherfucker can sell a ketchup popsicle to a nun, man.
Straight up, dude. I was like, yo, Chappelle, he really like I kind of bristle sometimes when people want to just call him the GOAT, like automatically. Because
Mhm.
I don't love everything he's ever done.
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
like Chappelle, but it's like, I don't think he's like, people sometimes are like, all right, you guys are,
Well, people do that, but everything now. Everyone's the GOAT.
yeah.
Everyone's the best ever. It's like, okay, man.
But then when you see him do something like that, you're like,
Oh,
shit.
you are top level though. Like
You
you
know
are
what I'm
top
saying?
tier.
It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah.
Like, God, that was amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Speaking of top, I know we're probably about to wrap up because we're an extra half hour in, and I got to say, not to pat myself on the back, this has been one of the better episodes of this show. This feels like,
Oh, dope.
yeah,
I had fun.
we're cooking. We got all sorts of subjects going on and heavy, yeah. But speaking of top, have you heard about the top G fighting Jake Paul? Is it Jake Paul? Andrew Tate and
Who's
Jake
the
Paul.
top G? I don't know who that is.
Andrew Tate. I thought you might have known.
Oh,
Andrew
word.
Tate.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
fighting. I think I heard something about that. Yeah, I heard someone mention it on like a podcast or something.
Yeah. What do you know about Andrew Tate and or Jake Paul? I know they're bigger YouTubers than us.
I know Jake Paul is Logan Paul's little brother, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so I know him mostly from his fighting. I know he's not anyone to fuck around with. I know he's genuinely a good combat athlete.
Got good to me.
Yeah, I saw his, like, I know what it looks like. I know the difference, and I saw the way he fought. I was like, yo, that dude could fight.
Yeah,
I don't know if he could fight Canelo, but he
he could fight. Like, he's at least at an amateur boxing level with his skill at this point.
Yeah, he would ruin my fucking day. Yeah, you know what I mean. He's a big guy. He's athletic. He's fast. He's got great endurance. He really is a good fighter.
Yeah,
I don't know that I believe any of these fights are real.
That's a whole nother can of words entirely. I don't know either.
Maybe
I've heard there's been rumors that there's clauses that you can't knock out the paws, that you can't really go hard at them.
None of that shocks me, but I will say the fight with Andrew, not Andrew, is Anderson? What's
no Anderson Silva?
Anderson.
That's the last
Silva.
one.
That looks pretty legit overall. Yeah, I thought that looked all right. Like, I was like, that looks like it might have been a real fight. I don't know, but there's like 8-9 rounds of like really going. It's like, that's kind of hard to fake. I mean, who knows? I didn't buy it, pretty much anything else. And as far as Andrew Tate, I noted him as a weird, like, kind of black, what's it called? Like not black market, but just, you know,
Black
like
Manosphere.
Not even Black Manosphere. It's
he's
just
not
like
really a Black Manosphere guy.
Off, you know, he's just a verboten YouTuber who, most of what I ever saw of him, I never really thought it was that insane. I was just
me
neither.
Like,
he was just saying, you know, like,
he's
just
a
men,
YouTuber, right?
Yeah, he's just a guy saying outrageous shit. You know, it's like, whether it was true or not, like, I think there was other parts to his persona that people took more issue with, like, especially like the Hustlers University and the fact that, like, he came out of nowhere because part of being in the Hustlers University is you had to like repost clips. So he just exploded. But I never thought he said anything like that wild. I think he's got some personal controversy, some like legal controversy that's like borderlines on human trafficking and maybe some draping and shit like that, where you're kind of like,
well, he ran an e-girl site. That's how he got all his money. He was a kickboxer. So his story, because I didn't know who the fuck he was 2 or 3 months ago. I didn't know him from a hole in the wall. And then he got banned. And then I start seeing his fucking TikToks everywhere.
Yeah,
all the time. And his shorts everywhere all the time. And so that's how all I've learned. I've learned a lot because I've ended up watching quite a few of them. He used to be a kickboxer. At some point, he moved out of that, and you know, him and his brother would, you know, his brother was like the worker. He was the one doing the kickboxing.
Right, his brother, yeah,
because his brother, he's got a different persona. He just wears suits and he kind of has like cigars and acts like he's like, I don't know. They're entertaining individuals. I also have seen the supercuts that kind of got him canceled, where they say some kind of Tate. He says some out. I don't know if outlandish is the word, but there's some cuts of him saying some stuff that I can see why they ruffle feathers. Especially he says something about, you know, some stuff about women that a lot of people don't like.
You know what kind of turned me on my opinion on Andrew Tate. It wasn't necessarily like, because like I said, I don't think most of what I ever heard, I never thought it was all that fucking wild.
Yeah.
But when I heard Tom Segura, he had him on his podcast with his wife called Your Mom's House, which is
I've seen some of those clips from there.
And he was talking with Bert Kreischer on their show, Two Bears, One Cave, which is a really funny podcast. And I was listening to Segura break it down. He's like, he knows exactly what he's doing. Like, he was suggesting that the whole thing is like an act. Like, it's not necessarily
this
like
Andy Kaufman times a million shit.
maybe not like it's not an, but like he understands what he's doing. Like he knows that saying these things and saying them the way he says them is going to upset people. Like that's part of it. Like that was
Yeah,
my impression of what what's his name?
I
Of
could definitely
Segura
see
was
that.
saying. And
I
Segura is not like he went on fucking Rogan's podcast and was, genuinely arguing for like kind of like abortion. So it's like he's not one of these guys who's just gonna go like he wouldn't say that just
no,
you know what I'm saying?
watching
Like
his content, I definitely could see that. I could definitely
yeah.
see that. I
So
could
that was
definitely see
that
that.
was an interesting
Little
perspective for
wrestling
me.
heel, little Conor McGregor esque,
Yeah,
little.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it was
Yeah,
like
I'm
it's
trying to
not this
ruffle feathers.
it's not that it's untrue. It's just that like I know what I'm doing. And
I
I was like,
definitely could see that.
that's
Just fucking
interesting.
got to fight with Jake Paul out of it.
And so he's gonna fight Jake Paul. That's interesting. And then
Yeah,
it's just boxing again.
just boxing. He if it is anything close to real, even though Andrew Tate was a world champion kickboxer, he's gonna get his head knocked off. If there's anything close to real, because he's like 35. I don't know if you've ever seen him walk. His legs are clearly like he has this weird way of walking. And I know he was a kickboxer for some years. He was a world champion kickboxer.
Was he
But
a
like,
world champion, eh? I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah. But
I knew
his
he was an MMA
legs,
fighter. I just didn't know.
huh?
No, I knew some of that, but I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
And I guess he did a couple MMA fights, but mainly kickboxing. And the way the way he walks, you can tell his legs have been shot from years of kickboxing.
Sure, I buy that.
And I'm like, there's no way. And we just talked about getting old. You're not as spry as when you were young. It's like he's our age. It's like, man, this guy's young. He's basically at an amateur level at his skill because now he's been doing it 4 or 5 years or whatever it's been. But
Also,
I
what Jake Paul's like what 23,
yeah,
25? He's a young guy, dude.
yeah. This isn't. If this is real, this is not going to end well.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it'll end with them
I
both
mean,
being richer. I
yeah,
think most of them are stunts. I used to like it for a little while because I was like, oh, this is good for the sport of boxing. This is good for the sport of just
they were
combat
just having
sports
this
in general.
discussion on a boxing channel. This one guy
Really?
was rarely against. I'm sick of this shit. This is not good. This is circus. This is, and I understand that
I think
argument, man.
he's right. Like I used to think, like when it first happened, I was like, "This is all good. Like this is
Yeah,
just bringing more eyes to the sport of boxing, it's more eyes to combat sports." It's like not that's like whatever. It's just like that. I just
yeah,
like those things. So if like
because it
more people
became
are watching it,
these are big events when they do it. I mean, they make a lot of
huge,
money and they're
huge
big
events.
media events and all that shit.
But now I just think they are just clown shows. Like, I don't really believe them. It's like, look, Jake, at this point, you've done how many fights, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
you want to be a boxer, go. How about you sanction one of these fights?
Right?
Like
Fight a
he's all
boxer in a sanctioned fight.
yeah.
At this
Fight
point,
fucking Canelo, big guy. You know what I mean? I
that
think
would be
Canelo
great.
will fucking kill you.
Unless
Especially if
he,
there's no way to fake it. Like if it's a sanctioned fight, like your license could get revoked if you are caught cheating. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like Canelo will kill
will
you. He will
fuck him
put
up.
you in the
Yes,
hospital.
yes, he
I
would
would
probably
love to
crack
see
his
that.
ribs like in the first couple
Hmm.
seconds. But there's probably angling for that fight. I think they want that Canelo fight, Jake Paul
He
Canelo.
called it out. I don't know that it's real though. You know what I mean? We're talking about Canelo. Like this guy is
Canelo likes money, man.
he does like
He,
money.
he likes money just like he's a
I
money.
think he likes to win too.
He likes to win too. And yeah, oh no, he's gonna. You ever see Canelo punch that reporter? Like this was a reporter in the ring, and he had like
Oh,
pads. Oh, it's great. And he's like, oh, this is a bad idea. And Canelo would hit him with some regular shots, and every now and again hit him with like a real blow. He's like, oh,
really?
yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
There's that great story with Sylvester Stallone when he was training with or like rehearsing with what's his face, the blonde guy, the Scandinavian.
Dolph
Yeah,
Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren, and Dolph Lundgren was a kickboxer too, and so like professional, relatively professional fighter, and he
Yeah.
said, all right, hey, don't take it easy on me while we're sparring, like really go for it, and he really went for it, and Stallone had got hospitalized.
Whew,
He goes,
fuck.
it felt like I got hit by a car.
Sheesh.
'Cause it's like, dude, there's a difference between pros, man. I
Yeah,
I could
man.
tell you as someone who's not that skilled, I know me, if you've never trained and you fight me, I will fucking ruin you.
Yeah,
Because
man.
I've done it. I've made those motions so many times, and I like my muscles are
Muscle
tuned.
memory and that muscle memory and muscle fluidity to doing that task based upon repeating.
And I'm not good. Like I'm nothing,
Yeah.
you know. And it's like, you talk about that with a guy who's had professional training, you know, all like with fucking coaches and mitts and playback tape, and they train this many hours a day. Like a real fighter is not like a normal person.
Yeah.
They are a trained weapon, and it's like a Navy SEAL. You know, it's something that
Yeah.
is a whole other level. You know, so you're trying to just be like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I mean, I just wonder, like, how many times has Jake Paul? He's starting to look real, though, to me in
Yeah.
the ring. He's starting to
He's
look like a
definitely
real
at least
fighter.
training because he's improving, and it looks like, oh no, you could probably fuck someone up, right? Like this.
Yeah, and a lot of it's taking abuse. Like that's a lot of it is how much damage you can take.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 'cause it sucks getting hit. It
Yeah.
hurts a lot. It's not fun. It really like I've been hit where it stops everything you're doing. Like you feel like you got hit
Oof.
like with a boom. You just like it just drops you and you like stop. Like you just want to like stop everything because like you just got fucking knocked.
Yeah.
So, but if he's starting to real spar and really get hit and really train, and he's only in his 20s, I mean, I don't know. To me, I'm just like just join the fucking
Just do it.
WPA and start fighting. Yeah.
Shit, the way boxing is, they'll rank him too, just off the strength of his name.
Right.
But this is what we're talking about. This is a reporter. This is from his perspective. Apparently, there's another video from another perspective, but this is what happens.
How you want to do this? You want to move or
No.
okay?
No.
He has pads on.
You didn't do that a bunch.
Ooh.
Huh?
All right.
That wasn't even 100%, by the way. That
No.
was
Easy.
No,
that's,
it
that's
wasn't.
full speed.
No, it's not. full
that wasn't
speed.
full speed.
No,
That
bro.
was like 30%, 40%.
That's
Yeah.
fucking terrible. I'm gonna be pissing blood. Jesus.
That was closer, but
I don't know about this shit. Keep going. Try to work this side.
This is like a Jackass episode.
I haven't cried
Yeah.
in fucking years.
he's crying.
Probably.
He's crying. Canel's laughing at him.
Okay, that's the end of the short. I think they have another one
man.
from. I thought I saw. Yeah. Did he really piss
And
blood?
he did piss blood.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Cons appliance prices
Oh,
are
fuck you, Cons Appliances.
You got to pay for that premium, doggy.
Yeah. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that one.
All
This
right.
one.
I guess I'm out of the show.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah. Fuck the wig knots. No. We like all the knots, man. We like
Oh,
all
thank you, Fidge.
You're-
That's nice of you.
You're all welcome here, even if you don't
Include
like each
me?
other.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm
This is
glad
a
I
lot
get
of
to stick
bullshit.
around.
Yeah. I think this is the same video from a couple different perspectives, but just to, I guess, end on something entertaining because we talked a lot of heavy stuff.
That's not a face I want to be opposite.
Nah, man. Wouldn't want no smoke with this guy ever. Like,
Dude, look at the size of those pads too. Like they're
Right?
not small pads. Oh,
yeah.
he's a big guy too.
Yeah.
He's not going hard too. He's really
No,
not.
he's not.
60% maybe.
Yeah, like a couple
really-
he's throwing, but he's like
He's not.
That's
The
not his
speed,
hardest.
dude. The speed
Yeah.
with which this guy can throw that's not even close. He did piss blood.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
no.
don't seem fun.
So you want some of that, Jake Paul?
Yeah, right. Cause like you're gonna piss blood, even if you fake it, bro. He's gonna throw some real ones in there, man. Even if it's like, oh, you don't go hard, he's gonna do exactly what he just did. If he just does exactly what he just did, where some of these are real, some of these are 60%, you're gonna piss blood, and you're gonna be pissing blood for weeks. It's gonna hurt because you're not gonna have that all the thick padding he had, some of nature's padding because he had a little bit of a gut, and it still went through all that shit to start fucking them organs up to the point where blood came out when he pissed.
God damn, dude, that's a hard punch, bro.
Yeah. And there are humans punching harder than him.
Mm-hmm.
Deontay
Dude,
Wilder
what's it?
exists.
Who's that? Deontay Wilder. Who's that other black dude from the MMA from the UFC?
Oh, Ngannou? He exists as well.
He's got the hardest punch ever recorded, I think.
Jesus, man. It looks, when he punches people, it looks like someone's getting hit like legitimately with like a sledgehammer.
It
It
looks like
looks
a murder. It's
vicious.
scary. Yeah, and that he's so big. His
He's
back,
every bit of
his
what
trap muscles.
6'3",
He's
250.
so big.
It's like that's
Oh,
crazy. I
oh
can't
yeah.
imagine any. I don't know what it feels. I would never want to feel getting hit
I
by
still
that.
size people up all the time, like,
Yeah.
and just look at them. Yeah, like there was this black dude who came into work.
Oh, you only
When
size up the black guys.
well,
I'm
no, but
trying to
this
help you
guy,
out, man.
he was like 6'5", big motherfucker. Probably 270.
Oh fuck.
And I was just thinking, I'd be like, man, that would suck to
Like,
fight that guy. Like I just thought that. I was like, he was nice. It was like there wasn't any reason. It wasn't like aggression. I was just like looking at the guy, and I was like, because I like to just put myself in that situation mentally. Like, what could I do? And that's like, could I do anything? Like, could I just? Would I just have to run? And I'm just thinking about it. I'm looking at that dude. I was like, that would really suck. Like if that guy singled me out and wanted to fight me.
Oh, you went to a bar. You were talking to his girl. Didn't know it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like he decided, and he just like, no, we're fighting. Like,
Nah.
long, meaty arms. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would not be.
You got some height on you though. How tall are you?
I'm almost 6'2".
That 6'2" is taller than the average bear.
But you have to punch up. You have to hit him.
Go for the
up
body.
There. It's not. I mean, yeah, like that's. I mean, you think about that shit, right? You're like, I create angles.
I'm sure you could. Yeah, hit him with
but
those
still,
liver
like,
punches. You get him in the liver, he's falling over no matter how big he is.
I was
not
on.
that,
what I was thinking.
I'm gonna lose my card. I'm trying to send it. Not this guy. Let's say he was a 6'5", 270 white guy. All right.
What I was thinking was like chopping down the tree with like leg kicks. Like that's what I was thinking. Was like the only way I could really do would be to throw like, and especially go for like the knees, maybe, like really go bam on those kind of, and then bring him down and throw like a right, like on top once he goes down. And like, once his head's at a more approachable angle.
His Caucasian head, not a black guy.
Overall, dude, like I don't want to be there.
See, I've never trained. So I just like, I can't, you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot him or some shit. I'm not that guy.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's like,
there's always that.
I mean, but I'm not that. I just hope I never get in that situation.
I'm
gonna have to cop plea, man. Like when I was younger, I might have said some dumb shit that would have got me killed. But I'm too old now. I'm copping plea. I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't know. What do I get that to do? I'm just trying to get out of here, man. I'm not that.
100%. Do everything you can to get out of it.
Yeah. Man, I'll buy you a drink, please, man. I'm just trying to leave. Anything to get the fuck out, because I'm not trying to get fucked up.
It doesn't go well. It's like, even if let's say you win. I've been in fights I've won. Your hand is fucking broken, or you tore your trap or something in the like. It's never just like, oh, that was great, glad I did that, or the cops get involved. You know what I mean? Like,
don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, there's like, it's not fighting. It
that shit about
out.
your hands. I got into a fight. The oldest fight I was like in my 20s. I can't remember how old. I was like 22, 23, 24, that area. My hands hurted so fucking bad for like days. I did not realize how, because we got into a fight over some dumb shit. And another thing is, that was the only time I had ever been like sparked and dropped. And that was not a good feeling. No, dropped. Sparked out.
Oh,
I didn't not get knocked out, but I dropped. You know what I mean? I got hit and I fell, and I had no control over it.
You just came to on the ground, like you're just like, it was like you were standing, and then all of a sudden you were conscious on the ground. Yeah,
and it was like I didn't get knocked. Well, the fight continued because I was conscious. I hopped up as quick as I could. I wasn't knocked out, but I was hit to the point where I got dropped and had to get myself up and get out.
Yeah.
It was like almost like one of those
situations.
Yeah.
It's involuntary.
Yeah, the involuntary fall. Like I got hit and stumbled, but I could control it. And it's like, okay, I just hit back. I've stumbled people, not to say, when I was younger, because I was a big dude back then. But that's
right. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're still a big dude.
Well, yeah, now I'm big and like fat, but I was like big.
You're just a big motherfucker. Yeah, you're just a big guy.
Yeah, I had like kind of longish arms for my height, and I'm kind of heavy fisted, but like. I usually could eat a punch, but that time I didn't see it. I fell, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the scariest. I thought he was going to start stomping on me. And I just hopped up as quickly as I could and just tried to wrestle him after that. I'm like, man, I can't just get sparked again. That was scary.
Last time I actually got into a fight was a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at work. It was really
Oof.
wild. Yeah, I was doing an event. Was that? Also, my uncle got into. All right, so I've been in a few fights recently in the past 5 years or whatever the
Oh
fuck it's
man.
been. Was it 5? Maybe longer than 5. But anyway, I was at work and this dude. I remember like we were wrapping up this event, and it's like a lot of times at events you have to like you got to like close the bar before people want you to close it. But
Hmm.
it's like the event organizer like wants the next moment of the event to happen, and the bar line can really drag out that moment, right?
Hmm.
People just waiting in line for drinks. It's just part of it. So there was a line of like 8 people at my bar, and the event organizer had come to me about 2 minutes ago and was saying like, you got to close the bar. And so there was a server. I was like, hey man, would you mind telling everybody in the line that this is it? Like we
Hmm.
can't serve any more drinks and like don't let. He's like, I'm not fucking doing that. I was just like, and so I said something like sarcastically. I was like, oh, all right, thanks a lot, bro. I really appreciate the fucking help, or
Hmm.
whatever. I said something like that, and
Yeah.
he got on my face, and he goes, you don't fucking talk to me like that. You don't fucking this, that, and the other, and he poked me
Oh shit.
in my eye,
Oh
like
fuck.
in the eye, like it was, and he was a black kid. And I think he thought I would have been intimidated or something because
Hmm.
the next thing that happened was I remember like for an instant I had a choice whether to fight this guy or not, and
Hmm.
I chose to do it. And it was
Oh
such
shit.
a snap decision, but it was just I had been training or whatever, and I
Hmm.
just wailed like 4 punches on the kid and then like a
Ooh.
kick. It was all like
Ooh.
almost involuntary. Like it was
Yeah.
just like it was instant. Yeah, and I could feel him. I don't know if you've ever like wrestled or
Hmm.
fought, but you can kind of like you feel
The lack of smoke he wanted.
it. Yeah, it was like I sensed that he did not. He was like he just thought he could get away with that, or because he almost like went limp. Like
Mm.
he didn't really want. He was almost just like I think he was trying to just get by on being intimidating, and it just was the
Mm.
wrong dude.
He picked the wrong one on the wrong day at the wrong time, basically.
Yeah, and it
When
broke
keeping
up.
it real goes wrong, sort of situation.
Yeah, I think so. Because he just immediately, I felt his energy just like, oh no. Like I don't think he really wanted to fight. He just thought he could get away with that, or he thought he could just bully me or intimidate me or
Hmm.
whatever. And I just was like, I'm not that guy. And so I, wailed on, and it was so fucking uncomfortable because it was
Mm.
like I had to go back to the bar right after that and finish serving all these people. And I couldn't quite see. Like
Oof.
my left eye was like, or whatever eye poked me, and I was like, I remember I couldn't quite like see anything. Like I was kind of there was like big black spots. Like I couldn't,
Sheesh.
yeah, I couldn't see. And also the energy of having just gotten to a fight a second
Yeah.
ago, and trying to serve drinks. Everyone's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine, I guess." It was just like so
Whoa.
bizarre and insane. Yeah, it was
What was the fallout from that? Like, what happened after?
I went outside and they're like, you need to go outside, like go cool off. I was like, all right. And I went out and cool off and like was, yelling, like
Hmm.
just blowing off steam. And then I got really mad because I was like, he could have blinded me.
Yeah.
I could lose my eye forever because this
Mm.
fucking kid thought he could poke me in the eye.
Yeah.
And I like it wasn't rational, it wasn't healthy, but I just this fucking anger took over me. I was so mad. So I went back
Mm.
inside and I was just like, yo, dude, that motherfucker like this kid needs to fucking go or I'm fucking going. Like I'm
Hmm.
not staying around this event with this motherfucker. Like that could have been blinding me. This is fucking wrong. And they're like, okay. Like, and nobody knows how to handle it. Like
Yeah.
nobody can deal with this kind of level of frustration. So they're just like, why don't you just go? We'll figure it out. This, that, and the other. And so I left and then had a conversation with like the bosses later on. They're just like, I heard your story. We looked at the cameras. There's no evidence that he poked you in the eye. And I was like, yeah, but okay, but he fucking did. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. But do you want me to look at him with you? Because I know what happened.
Hmm.
And so then that was just like, then they're just like, okay, like, yeah, great. Like they basically did the Hollywood thing where they're like, we'll work with you again. And I just never heard from them again. That was the end of
Yeah.
that relationship. So
What happened to
whatever.
the kid?
Someone told me that he was like throwing up
Oof.
afterwards, maybe because I don't really, it's all a blur,
Hmm.
but it's like I might have connected with his head and might have given him
Oh,
like a vague concussion or
concussion.
something.
Oh,
It's
fuck.
possible. I don't know. But
Jesus.
I never saw him again. And I told my friend about that. He's like, "Wow, dude, it's fucked up. Like, I'm sorry that happened." And I guess he knew someone else who worked at that company, and that same kid, same like his friend, had problems with this same guy before.
Oh,
He's like, that doesn't sound even kind of surprising. That
so
was like
he
his.
had a habit of doing. Well, you know what, man? As somebody who believes in God and karma, I mean, sometimes it's like you just happen to be the elected force. Like if a guy's just put, because if you're running too hot as a human, something's gonna cool you off. You know what I mean? And so if
It's
he's
a good
that type
point.
of guy, you just happen to be you that day. You were the guy to cool him off. Where he's like, "Oh, I need to stop being so fucking aggressive at people. Somebody's gonna call me. What do they say? If I keep selling wolf tickets, somebody's gonna buy one or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? So it sucks. I'm not trying to, we've been
Nah,
making wig not jokes the whole time,
nah, it's
but like on some serious shit, man. It's like, hey, in general, no matter what nationality you are, that's why I said I'm copping plea, man. I'm not trying to get in a fucking fight at this age. The fuck do I look like? I'm not a
you don't
trained
need
dude.
this shit.
I would love to train. I would love to train for the health and maybe spar in a controlled environment. Even that's going to be tough. But I there is that part of me that wants to do that. But to get into an actual knockdown, drag out street fight and at this age and in this state, I couldn't even imagine. Fuck that.
No,
Even if
because
I
you
was in
think
better
about
shape, fuck that. No.
what situation are you getting into a fight with like another man? You know what I mean?
Right?
It's not like a rational exchange. Like most likely either that person's deranged
Mm-hmm.
or they're drunk. More
Mm-hmm.
likely they're drunk. But that's also a very bad situation for everyone involved. And people die in street fights.
Yes.
People get knocked out or they trip and fall and hit
Hit
their
their
head on
head.
something and they
Mm-hmm.
die.
Or get hit in
It's
the
not,
rib, break a rib or some shit.
you know
You know
what I
what I
mean? And
mean?
then like
Punches a
then
lung and they pass out.
even if that's all it is, even if it's not that, then you got to go to the hospital.
Hospital and maybe jail and maybe
Yeah,
fill out a
or
police
it
report.
gets
Maybe
crazy.
a lawsuit. Maybe
Right. Or a
somebody
lawsuit.
sues you. Maybe you want to sue them. Maybe, maybe they fuck you up. Maybe you got a
Yeah.
fucked up leg or you throw your back out or some crazy shit happen.
Yeah.
It's like, who wants to
It's
deal
not,
with
it's
that?
not, you can't fight. You just can't fight. It's
Like,
not, do everything you can to get out of a fight.
yeah, man. Yeah. And
It's
I
not
mean,
good.
not saying if it's unavoidable, somebody's trying to mug you and you got to defend yourself. That's one thing, but outside of that, man, you got to try to de-escalate on
Don't fight.
some real shit.
Don't fight. Yeah.
Some real shit,
Like
man.
I remember like thinking back on it, like I had a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember because I've replayed it so many times in my head,
Yeah.
but I remember choosing to engage. It
You
wasn't
think
purely a response.
if he hadn't poked your eye, like if he
Oh.
hadn't made contact, you wouldn't have done anything?
Oh, 100%. No, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have done anything. I wasn't even mad at the guy. I was just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is this guy so mad about? Like I said something sarcastic. I was just, like, oh, thanks a lot. And he was snapped and I was like, what the fuck is this kid so mad about? And then boink, he poked me in my eye. And like my pride or like my maleness got involved. You know what I mean? Where I was just like, I just was, what do you,
Man.
you know what I mean? Like it was just like one of those things where it's like, you just have to like, I reanalyzed it so many times that I remember distinctly choosing to fight him. And it was like, I could have chosen otherwise. Not to say that would have been the right call or who knows or whatever. It's all 2020. But I do remember choosing to throw those punches.
We all make choices. That's
Yeah.
an interesting story, man. It's a crazy story. Man, concuss the guy. I don't have anything like that. Only thing is, I had a road rage incident that if I was packing, I would have been in jail for the rest of my life. There's
Ooh,
no
wow,
doubt.
really?
And what it was, the reason I thought of it because you mentioned maleness, and it was a pride thing. I'm on 77 in Charlotte. I'm trying to get off, not quite downtown, a little bit past downtown to do some woke tech thing. It wasn't really woke, but the tech people were woke themselves. Every time I go in, it was Trump. I was like, whatever. But anyways, I'm trying to get over into his lane. He's trying to get over into my lane. Now, usually this exchange is usually a good thing. Okay, we can figure it out. There's a lot of cars. We can figure it out. Somehow we couldn't. And he's looking at me and he spit at my car. And I promise you, had I had a gun, I would have chased that motherfucker down and took his life and been in jail for the rest of my life. Because spitting is something I can't do.
How old was, or well, like
This
describe the
was-
person?
He was, oh, man. I'm losing my car. He was a black guy, man. He was a brother. He was a brother.
It is.
And
what it is,
I'm like, damn it, man. Why'd you ask for the scripters? He was a brother. I can't remember what car. I just remember his angry face. And at first I'm shocked. I'm like, okay, we both trying to get over. It's not quite working out. We'll figure it out. And he spit. And I start honking my horn like, fuck you. Fuck that.
How old do you think he was? Roughly?
He was probably a little younger than me, but not much. Maybe
okay.
28-ish. 28-ish. He had like kind of like a mini fro, but like not an afro. Like I just haven't had a haircut in a while.
Was he driving like a nice car, or was he driving like a piece of shit?
Wasn't a piece of shit, but it was just a mediocre ass car. It wasn't just a car. I can't really remember what it was. It was a bit on the older side, but even my shit's older. But it is looked a little bit older than my shit. And I just we figured it out. One of us got over because we didn't get into an accident.
Right.
But he was trying to get over on my side. I was trying to get over on his side. He was gonna make me miss my exit. And he started getting mad at me, and he spit. That image of him spitting made me so furiously angry. Like I was angry for a while, like to the point where I was like, I wish I could see his motherfucker again. I just want to see him.
I want the opportunity.
I want the opportunity. I was so furious, and I'm like, okay, that's what made me think at that moment. I'm like, man, this is why I'm not trying to toss the liberals anything their way. But I'm like, man, me having a gun at that moment, I probably would have did something stupid.
Dude,
Because I was
swear
so
to
mad
God,
in that moment.
That's why I still don't own a gun. Like that's the biggest thing. It's like
we're human beings, man.
Yeah, it's not like I think I'm gonna murder someone, but I just think I don't think more about like my own self-protection. You know what I mean? Like I get down, you know what I mean? I get fucking depressed. Like I'm not like suicidal.
Yeah.
But I have been. And it's like, I don't know, like what if I got really drunk and miserable and I wasn't myself and I wasn't in control and then I had that gun, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like it just seems like too much responsibility, too much risk to you know, it's like I want it, but I don't want it like here. Like I want it like at a gun range. I can go access it. Like I don't know. Like maybe I'd change if I had it in the house. You know, they say people have kids, they change, you know, once a kid's around, like your priorities straighten out. Maybe I would feel really responsible, but I just don't want it around, man. I genuinely don't like. And then I think about like the self-protection thing, like someone comes in this fucking house, right? And I shoot them with like a pistol, right? It's like that goes through the wall. That kills somebody else or some shit. There's kids in this neighborhood. Like I shoot a fucking kid or something. You know, it's like
it can go through the walls.
Yeah,
shit, I didn't even think about that. I got a fucking 12. I do have a gun. I have a 12 gauge. This bitch is going through this wall. It's going in the next house for sure, man.
What ammunition do you have in that thing?
Double aught.
So it's buckshot?
Yeah.
That probably stops at the first wall.
You think it stops first wall?
I think.
Okay.
I would look up the ballistics. Don't take my
but I don't think buckshot for aim because I'm like I'm not fucking, you know, I ain't Kyle Rittenhouse, so I ain't got aim like that. So I
don't think buckshot has that kind of like penetrating power. I'm just thinking of like a Glock. You know what I mean? If you have like ball ammunition, like that goes for a fucking long time. Like that goes to wall after wall after wall after wall. That's why the people get hollow points for like home defense because it doesn't. It hits the first target and just like explodes. Yeah, but it's not. So it's you don't have to worry about killing people. But I don't know, man. It fucks my head. Like I really hope I'm never in a situation where I have to fucking shoot somebody.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna be happy about that. Like even if I fucking survive, like I'm standing over a dead body or someone who's dying of gunshot wounds, like scumbag or not, like
it's a human dying, bleeding on your floor and shit. Maybe he stabbed you and it's the process you're bleeding too or some crazy shit.
Yeah. Like I just never want to be in that situation. Obviously, like you can't control when that happens, but I don't know, man. I just like I like the idea of guns. I respect people's rights to do it. For me, I don't know, man. Because I think I'd have to keep it in like the closet over here, and I mean, probably nothing would ever happen, but it's just it makes me.
Luke
anxious.
might get it, no, but
might fucking put it to my head in the sleep. You know, you would change my food, bro.
No,
that shit better be better, gourmet.
Man, I ain't think. I do know this. There is this part of me that says like. Because I have one, and I've worried about the depression thing because I still get depressed, but I haven't really thought like, oh, let's like nah, because I got too much respect for it. Like, man, it's just like I'm like, I mean, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to do that shit.
Right. I'm not like truly suicidal. I'm not like I have family. I have friends. It's not like I
That's where all the
want to.
shit I talk. I got to constantly remind everyone I am not that guy.
I'm not.
Yeah,
But I get down
we
and I
all
just
do.
wouldn't
Yeah,
want to. You know what I mean? I
you
don't
get
know.
those
Like I just
miserable
wouldn't want to
moments.
be a moment or something. Like not that I think it's like that big of a risk. It's just like it
We
could
all
be.
get down, and then when you add, alcohol and inebriation to it, and
Who knows, man? I don't know. It
you
just
just
seems like
don't
a
want. Yeah,
bigger risk to keep it than to not. It's like,
yeah, I get
and
that,
I
man.
guess, something happens. I fucking come in here, someone stabs me to death. I'd be like, wow, God, I wish I had a gun, but I don't know.
I
I don't
get
know.
that, man. I get that. You know what? And I think that's a perspective people don't like toss out there. Like, no, I have a fucking fear of this thing, and there's a
The number
reason to have a
one,
respect and a fear for it, man.
the number one way people die from guns is suicide.
Yeah.
It's the number one way. So it's like if you have tendencies like that, or you thought like that, you've been in that place.
Yeah, you don't want to be back there again and actually have the ability to do something.
You know what I mean? Like I keep knives in the house, but I don't have like a bottle of Percocet
yeah,
that if I'm
or like,
feeling down, I could. But if I have a gun, I have a
mhm.
way of doing it. And I don't know. Like maybe I'm like obsessing over nothing, but it just freaks me out. It's a lot of power.
It is, man. You know what? And I kind of, all jokes aside, man, gotta give you some props for even talking about that, man, because that's a lot of people don't even want to talk about. Oh man, I felt that way. So I mean, I hope you're not feeling that way now, and I hope you're cool and
No,
everything. I know you're cool, but
I'm
like,
not. I'm cool. Like I'm
just
cool.
see,
It's
yeah,
happened. I've felt that way before.
yeah. And I mean, we all do at times, man, especially in this crazy ass world. So to have that much respect.
Carrie Lake didn't win. I need it. I'm miserable.
Oh no! You about
Oh
to yell at the
no.
Trump girl in the green windbreaker or whatever. No. Oh man. I hope that person's healthy, whoever that is. She's been
I
immortalized in that damn meme.
sincerely doubt it, but
That's
it's
probably
possible.
not. But man, that's I have thought about that same thing. That scared me off guns. And honestly, there's been times where not this gun, but I've sold guns for that reason. I had a gun at one point. I'm like, you know what?
Really?
I had lost my job, and I'm like, part of it was money, and the part of it was like, you know what? This shit shouldn't. I just lost my job. This shit should probably not be in this house. You know what I mean? For just safety reasons, I should probably try to get rid of it. And I actually how did I get rid of it? I got into a pawn shop because they didn't want to buy it off one place, and I had to go to like a couple different pawn shops to get rid of it. And I didn't really care what the price was. Just like, this is probably not the time to have this in the house. And so I definitely get that.
I just Googled so it says double aught buckshot is 9.32 caliber pellets sent at 1,100 feet per second. It's actually faster than most 32 handguns can send a bullet downrange. So if you send 9 of them in close proximity to the other, it's a devastating impact. Yes, it can penetrate, it can over penetrate, and still do decent damage on the other side of whatever it penetrates. Stone or brick walls, especially if some distance from the muzzle, might be able to slow them down enough to the next thing that it hit isn't devastated.
Okay,
so that's definitely going through fucking what these walls in these houses out of.
Shit, yeah.
Shit, I didn't think of that.
So if something happens, the kids playing outside, man. Fuck. And then these things spray and splatter, fuck, man. There are kids that play outside. So you're making me think, man. We should have voted Beto. What are we doing, man? We should have voted
your guns.
We should have voted Beto. He would have protected us from ourselves. Liberals were right.
That's right.
No.
That's the thesis of this show.
Right?
The left was right.
Black Panther's good. Guns are bad. This is the most
I'm moving back to California.
Yeah, going back to Cali like Biggie.
Where I'm safe.
I'm safe.
myself.
All I do is dodge the needles and the shit, and I'll be okay.
Yeah, right. But I won't have the opportunity to kill myself with a gun. So
yeah, it's worth it. No.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a hell of a 2 hours. I gotta somehow hit the gym and then get to sleep, which we'll see how that works.
God bless you going to the gym at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not someone there. I was there 3 a.m. on like Friday or Saturday. Still motherfuckers there. I mean, shout out to them getting their gains in, but like, damn, really? I thought nobody was gonna be here. Oh well.
Not good for you, bro. Good for you going and getting at it. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man.
I'm doing it tomorrow, not tonight, man. I'm fucking
Yeah.
exhausted. I worked. I'm tired.
Yeah. Anything but to say before we get out of here?
Nah. MF for this week. MF for Cocktail Lounge on Friday. No.
All right, man. Cool. Me and Pat Truthner tomorrow, unless something crazy comes up.
Check that out. That's dope, dude. I'm gonna watch that for sure. That's cool.
We'll talk about rigged sports, and that'll be fun.
I can't wait to see that.
All right, man. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. He's throwing up Illuminati devil horn, so we are in. Time for the money, baby. He's throwing the lies shit.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. And you know, I can't even make too many Illuminati jokes because I do believe in the Most High. So I ain't gonna go too far. I'm not trying to get smiting. We gotta live. But if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged, please share, subscribe. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night or good afternoon when you're seeing this. And God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Peace.